Hello, I know this is not a video that I typically do, but I am here with a friend today to discuss, Pokemon, a complete retrospective by CD Cal, also known as Lily Orchard.
I didn't know she had two names.
No, that's just her YouTube name.
Aye.
She's been going about that for a bit now. But anyways, so yeah, I saw a bit of this and I decided I just had to. And I decided to vote this person in because she knows more about Gen 5 than I do. And I just wanted an expert for that one specifically. But she decided to suffer with me.
This person? I'm your, friend, idiot. And yeah, Pokemon is my autism, so we're gonna see what happens when somebody who apparently has very rancid opinions tries to tackle one of the most problematic series in the mainstream.
So yeah, we're going to be doing this in separate parts. Just because this is 6 hours long. 6.5 hours long.
Yeah,
Well, I'm aiming for at least 3 gens per video. If it's less, it's less. Because this part up here is Hoenn. And that's 130. Well, 125 about. And then X and Y stops at about 330. And yeah. The last chunk is definitely going to be big.
Actually, for what it's worth, what generation is this up to?
Up to 9.
Oh wow, okay.
This was released, when was this released? Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I should probably introduce myself. Hi, I'm Strawberry Pup 126. You can call me Strawb. And I'm not really a YouTuber, but kind of would like to be someday. I don't know. I play video games. I love Pokemon. That's mainly why I'm here. I'm stuck with this idiot.
But enough of that. We should also, it popped up on the desktop. I had to plug in my headphones. So just ignore that noise. But let's actually begin proper, because... oh boy, we have a Johnny.
Pokemon is old. Really old. You just won't believe how vastly,
Brother, how's the
hugely,
volume?
mind-bogglingly old it is. With the main
Little
series
quiet,
alone
but
that
survival.
spans 38 games in less than 30 years, it's unbelievably massive in scope. I mean, people say Kingdom Hearts has
Also,
been
I have
going
to
on
ask
a
a dumb
long time,
question.
but not counting remakes, that's...
This is Lily Orchard's voice?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I was expecting girl voice, my bad.
She is trans, so...
Understood.
With the main series alone that spans 38 games in less than 30 years, it's unbelievably massive in scope. I mean, people say Kingdom Hearts has been going on a long time, but not counting remakes, that
She has,
series
like,
only
a
has
perfect
13
YouTuber voice.
yeah.
games. Kingdom Hearts has been going on a long time, but not counting remakes, that series only has 13 games, and when you really think about it, only 7 are required. Pokemon
Hold on.
counting
You
remakes, that
son
series
of a
only
bitch!
has 13 games, and when you really think about
Okay,
it, only
which
7
7 though?
Okay. Kingdom Hearts.
No, you
fair
kind of
enough.
need Chain of Memories.
No, you need V-Chain of Memories, because that sets up Kingdom Hearts 2, and also introduces
PS1
Roxas.
Recoded?
Recoded is with Data Sora.
Yeah, isn't that kind of necessary?
That one, honestly, is actually more necessary than people give credit for, because that's how, the group learns about... I believe it's how the group learns about Shion. Also, how, Maleficent learns about the black box that was left buried behind. And, yeah, Recoded has a few things going for it. 358 over 2 days, obviously being about Roxas and Shion, that's required.
As well as the others, like Terra.
Yep, Birth by Sleep, literally the prelogue of Kingdom Hearts, explains the current conflict and how people became Keyblade wielders. Dream Drop Distance.
Oh, sorry, that's the one with Terra and Aqua. My bad.
Yep, that's the one where Terra and Aqua are playable.
Sorry, 362 numbers days is the one which is important. Introduces the all-important Lee, or Axel.
No,
Sorry,
no,
it's
that
been a
was
hot
Kingdom
minute
Hearts
since I've gotten-
2. That was Kingdom Hearts 2. Actually, no, that's Chain of Memories that had Lee. Because we didn't know about Lee's
Got it, my
name
bad.
until Dream Drop Distance.
Yeah. Sorry, it's been more than a hot minute since I've even begun to think of the Kingdom Hearts lore, and I have not played through the whole series.
Like, again, this is kind of what I mean by Lily's opinions are kind of dog shit. Like, oh yeah, only these are important.
Yeah.
This sets up this.
Also,
This sets up the current conflict for
I
Kingdom Hearts 3
think
on Maleficent's
Dream
side.
Drop Distance is like literally the only one I'd say is maybe halfway, possibly optional, but only Dream Drop Distance.
No, because Dream Drop Distance is the rite of passage for Riku and Sora, and how they learn the power of awakening.
Ah, okay.
Even Dream Drop
What's that?
Distance is important.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with titles. What's the one right next to it with the dark background?
Union Cross. That one is the mobile game that explains what happened in the way, way past, before even the Keyblade War.
Yep, and they made that important as well.
That
And
one's
then
important.
that after
Kingdom Hearts
it
3 is
is-
obviously important. So I'm just trying to speedrun this because this is a Pokemon retrospective, not Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
Melody of Memory is important is because that's literally, honestly, it's probably the most optional out of the group. But it's still,
Isn't that the
the
game?
story of that one is diving into Kyrie's memories to find any trace of where Sora might have ended up.
Oh.
So, like, that one I honestly would say is probably the most skippable, but that's just because only the starting cutscene and the last cutscene are the important ones.
Understood.
Then that one is back cover, which, if I recall... Actually, yeah, if I recall, that explains
Is the
even
game called back
before...
cover or the back cover game?
No, back cover was actually after. I'm trying to remember everything because it's been so long. Especially since that one is Union Cross Dock Road. Not back cover. Back cover is different. But no, Dock Road is explaining about Xehanort's youth before he went in crazy and did all this shit. And then Missing Link never came out. It was supposed to by the time this was written. And then Kingdom Hearts 4, which is also not out yet.
Yep.
But yeah, I just want to...
That's promo art, though.
It
Okay,
is.
sorry.
It is. And also, I just want to point out, we're already 7 minutes in, and we had to already stop to do a giant-ass correction.
Yeah, no, like, again, we're cutting out half of Kingdom Hearts and saying the rest is completely optional. No.
You're someone that doesn't understand the entire story if you think that is the case. And I can't even blame it on just not being able to play Recoded. Because, like, Chain of Memories had a PS2 port, and that PS2 port became playable in the collection.
Oh, I have to play Recoded on the DS. Noted.
Yeah, Recoded is only on the DS, same with 358 2 days. Those are the only two you can't play mod on, which sucks.
Good news, they're on the DS. I know how to make use of that.
Yep, just find a copy. Anyways,
Covenant required.
let's continue.
Pokemon has been around longer than some of you have been alive. It's a more common household name than Mickey
Oh, the
Mouse.
flute.
I've grown up with Pokemon just as much as I've
No, it's not. Mickey Mouse is still a more popular household name.
grown up with other game franchises. But the question is, how do they actually hold up? Pokemon as a franchise is steeped in nostalgia. It's a common sentiment that your favorite generation is the first one you played. Heated discussions about which generation was the best can get dominated by the generations that marked themselves a generational divide. But how much of that is based on things that just don't exist anymore? Many of these games have features that don't work and take far too much time to really dig into, and which you needed to enjoy the game already to get the most use out of. See, when people talk about the Pokemon game...
Are you saying... Is she trying to say that the validity of a game's existence depends entirely on its limited time online features?
Honestly, while I somewhat disagree, it is still a factor you have to consider. Like, look at Bravely Default. You can't have access...
I'm playing Bravely Default.
Yes, and yet you're using external means in order to connect to other people, in order to make use of the reconstruction.
I've actually been forgetting to do that. So, yeah.
Like, I'm gonna say, it's not a game that you need online for, but the thing is, trying to do the reconstruction without having online is so fucking hard, man.
Oh, I get that. But over to Pokemon, Pokemon does not need its online features to function. It's nice to have online battles until you remember that, like, actually making Pokemon for competitive is a grindy hellscape that takes way too long per Pokemon. So people do it if they have the patience, but it's not super necessary, and each game is fun without its ability to battle other people or even trade with other people.
That's not necessarily what I'm going to be referring to, because, yes, that is a very valid point. But that's also not something Lily here is necessarily saying. Like, do you remember how you get berries in Black and White?
Oh, yeah.
You have to use an online network function for that, and that has been discontinued. So, berries in Black and White, yeah, that's practically impossible now.
Yeah,
like,
no, I get that.
Those are the type of functionalities I'm sure she's referring to. And I don't like Lily, and I'm giving her the benefit of a doubt here.
But still, if that's one of our arguing points, I'm going to have to just immediately knock it down on the principle of these games are absolutely functional without their online features. They are truly just a small chunk of the game. A sad chunk to have lost, of course, but if this is really what's causing you to think negatively of a certain game, if we get into that, incorrect, just blatantly wrong.
This is just a type of thing that we have to take it by case basis. Because if a game is reliant on its online, then yes, automatically. It's more so just how much of the online is required by Pokemon is what we're going to be finding out going forward. Because, like, honestly, this type of topic isn't even going to fucking matter in the first 3 series, because Wi-Fi didn't exist until Gen 4.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Down in the features or the memories. Nostalgia is a very powerful tool, especially with some of the mid-gen games. To hear some people talk, for instance, you would be forgiven for thinking that Generation 1 was this magical experience that changed people's lives, but in reality it was just the first open-world game on a handheld console. To hear people talk, you would think the Unova games had this deep, rich story that...
I don't even know if that's true. It might be, but...
I mean, it probably is the first open world, like, not even real open world, just open-ended RPG. It was really one of the first of its kind. I don't know if the other major mainstream RPGs has even hit the Game Boy yet, because it was an offshoot console with a handheld.
Yeah, that one...
So, I don't know.
Pokemon was released in 1995. Yeah. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Delved into complicated, mature topics. But in reality, it's actually a story about the very weak premise of, well, I sure do love opinions. And yeah, it's kind of a you had to be there bit. But my question is, can you still play these games without the nostalgia today when all you have is the main game, the competitive scene is dead, and half the features don't work anymore? Can you still play Gen 3 without friends to record mix with? Can you play Gen 4 without friends to crawl around the underground with? These games still have a main storyline and a progression path. Does that part hold up on its own? And most important, did it ever hold up at all? Do these games hold up as RPGs? That's the premise I'm working.
The answer is yes, by the way. I'm just gonna spoil it now.
Yeah, no. Even, sorry, you happen to pause on Scarlet Violet. Even that one, when we get there, I will have lots to say and lots to defend.
Yep. We're saving the grand finale for another time, Strawb.
I understand. I want to spoil it so bad, but I will wait.
We have to wait. I don't even know if she tackles the DLC. I don't think she does.
I actually haven't played the DLC, so that's fine by my books.
I have.
How was it?
It was actually quite good. I'm not gonna get too into it. It's gonna definitely just remind me afterwards, after the thing, because I do want to focus on the review. We keep getting off topic.
Yep. Sorry, and I'll quickly cover. The reason I didn't get the DLC is I got the Sword and Shield DLC for Sword and Shield. Realized I paid money to Sword and Shield. I was like, oh no, what have I done? I've splurged too far, and kind of stopped buying DLC after that.
Yeah, valid.
How does Pokemon hold up as a game, rather than a loose collection of memories? Well, in this monstrous nightmare project I've tentatively called a video, we're about to find out.
I will say,
this is
visuals are lagging, but audio is not.
Visuals are like... Don't forget, I'm both recording it and streaming it to you. If the...
I'm just giving fair warning. I can still hear the yapping, I just can't quite see everything that's on screen sometimes.
The visuals aren't going to be the most important, hopefully.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that's a good thing to know. But there's nothing I can do to help. The only thing actually, there's probably one thing I can do. And that is essentially just reduce the quality.
Yeah, that'll work.
70, 1080 or 720.
720.
720. Okay. Hopefully this works.
Mm-hmm.
Oh fuck! I forgot to. That's popped up on my thing. I'm using fucking full screen record for this. 1 second. I accidentally went and hit stop recording. We are professionals here. Let's back up.
Memories. Well, in this monstrous nightmare project I've tentatively called a video, we're about to find out. This is a complete retrospective on Pokemon.
Except we're not going to cover the remakes, nor the side games, none of that shit.
Oh yeah, can I speak on that?
Yep.
I would love to hear why she thinks, no, let us not tackle the remakes when they are absolutely fundamental to the experience of Pokemon. They were absolutely indicative of a lot of quality changes or a lot of experiences. A good example would be how Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire is honestly way more refined than X and Y ever could be. There's many times where the remakes are basically part and parcel of that generation. So not tackling those is a massive travesty. The side games are a little more understandable, but that's because it's kind of fuzzy which ones would really be mainline anyways, ever since Legends Arceus. And they're different experiences because, wouldn't you know it, Game Freak didn't have a huge hand in them, which meant they were actually well made.
I will say, I understand why she's skeptic, because she's probably thinking, like, we already covered that generation, and the main one for that generation would be the new region. And besides, there's something worse down the line than just not recovering the remakes. And we'll get to that next time. But yeah, I'm just gonna say, if I was doing retrospective, I would at least mention the new, the remakes of it and what changes they provided. Because I can understand not going through the entire game, because it's mostly going to be the same. But you are right. There are slight differences that makes it, that makes improvements on it from the previous generation, from the original generation. And also, even of the region that just got released, like with Oras and X and Y. Oras is a lot better of a game than X and Y is, even though it wasn't as balanced as well. Because let's be honest, X and Y wasn't even balanced.
It really wasn't. They wanted Baby Eve's game.
Yep.
But your boyfriend.
And it's now full of ketamine. The guy who made that movie about that stuff. Moon lesbian. Wait!
Moon lesbian. One, please.
Jockey moaning. Hold on, wait.
Correct starter, incorrect. Uninspired.
Sorry. Seti Phile's, I don't know what that is.
No idea.
One
It's
second.
French, the non-existent language.
So I need to know, cause she is canonically bi.
True. Oh wait, that's what Sapphic could be.
Let's see. Sapphic.
It could be like My Little Sapphic or something, maybe like that.
Why is it not in English?
My dog.
You know, I'm just gonna have to ask Google Translate. Because when I looked it up, it did get sent to the LGBTQIA+ stuff. So, the Sapphic Gall. So, yeah. Good lesbian. Wrong reason.
Wrong Weasling.
Shocky mode.
Quite sexual.
Effective.
Incorrect. Horny. And I didn't get all visual spotting yet.
Central isn't working as intended. My favorite generation.
Sorry, the visual lag made it hard to actually
Gen
follow
1,
a lot of that.
the OG,
Yeah,
the retro,
This is a lot of jokes.
God, what are some other flowery
I
words
know.
for old?
Also, we talked over her. Whoops.
Ah, Gen 1, the OG, the retro, the... God, what are some other flowery words for old? The vintage, there we go. It's in vogue these days to kind of trash on Gen 1 for its glitches and lack of content and oversaturation of modern Pokemon and terrible artwork and messed up approach to game balance and excuse plot and simplistic antagonists and the fact that it's not on the DS. Oh, fuck, I wasn't supposed to say that one out loud. But I found that the trashing is done without merit, or at least from a very wrong-headed place. Most arguments against Gen 1 cite the lack...
There's a lot of merit behind that, trust me.
Yeah. Let's see how he tackles individual pieces.
Jay. Well, I forgot to point this out at the beginning. We do not condone misgendering or harassing people here.
I don't either. I just forget, because the voice can be like that.
Yeah, no, I understand. It's just that, remember, it's female. We will respect that, even if we don't like her.
Goily.
Of tertiary features, the lack of a story, and the bugs. But personally,
I wouldn't say lack of a story. Yeah, it has a story. It's not like so
obvious.
in depth like say Gen 4, if that's what you're looking for, if that's what you're upset about. But the story is there. There's an evil organization that has weaved its way into a lot of Pokemon social culture. You need to uproot them to stop them from stealing Pokemon.
Can I say, I think she was still talking about like people critiquing it.
Well, projection.
But yeah, no, that was an actual story. Let's see if she gets into it.
Most of those are a positive, not a negative. It might not have a story, but having played the games that have one, honestly, I'm glad it doesn't. I'm glad there's still a Pokemon game out there, as flawed as it is, that just lets you go on your own adventure. It's something I feel Pokemon has gotten too far away from as the years go on. It's hard to introduce Gen 1 because its main selling point is that it was the first. Nothing in the games has remained only in those games. All of its mechanics are just the baseline mechanics of every Pokemon game. So let's just jump right into it and get this ball rolling. So in Gen 1, we start off getting to name our rival because his grandfather can't remember his grandson's name. Actually, wait.
Yep.
Sorry. She's saying like, oh, it has a lot of the base features. One of the things I was thinking going in was like, Generation 1 is the one game where there were so many flaws in it that they worked very hard to make sure those were never features ever again. Ironically.
Like what?
So say it's the one with the core. The 1 in 255 chance of missing.
That was a coding error.
Definitely segregating that if moves miss, it says it misses, not that it fails. But then again, that might be an inconsistency on my end. Physical special stat split.
That didn't get introduced until Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
True, but like, there was a lot of walking away from Generation 1 gameplay-wise. They would eventually circle back around to it for nostalgia, but in terms of the core mechanics, it is a fundamentally different game than, say, the mid-eras like Generation 4 and 5.
Yes, but I honestly would argue that's just because they keep improving on that formula, not necessarily moving away from it. Because, like, the special split in between it being special attack and special defense, yes, that was done for balancing reasons, but abilities and held items was something that the game really didn't even tackle. Those were just completely new features that were added that complemented the style that Gen 1 had. Remember, the basis of Gen 1 is all throughout the game, even all throughout the Pokemon series, even if it does get changed.
True.
And typically, if changed, it is for the better. Because don't forget, yes, we have the special attack and special defense split, but that still was a thing in the game. It was essentially just they were both like 75. You had both 75 special attack and defense type of deal. So it's like, I can see what you're talking about, but they didn't really move that far from it. And any changes they did have was just to make it better. Oh, goddammit! Ah.
I can't believe I'm already making a tangent, but isn't it weird that between this and him asking you your gender in the Gen 3 remake, the latter became more memed on? Gen 3 adds gender select and the weird parody webcomics come out in full force. Honestly, Professor Oak was ahead of his time. He doesn't assume. Trans ally Professor Oak. Can't say the same for the manual, though. Oh yeah, I named my rival Sketchy. My mom tells me to look for Professor Oak, and when I go to check the grass, because naturally that is the first place anyone would look, he comes out of my house, so I guess he was hiding in the closet. Are you my dad? He takes me to his lab where Sketchy's waiting for the both of us and lets me choose a Pokemon.
It's a basic joke, but it works.
Yeah.
I chose Bulbasaur because it's correct.
Good.
Yes, Bulbasaur is actually correct.
Actually, if I can get quickly into it,
Yep.
that's the one thing I like about the starters is they kind of made an easy, medium, hard path, intentional or not. Bulbasaur is the easiest path, tackling the first two gyms pretty much flawlessly, all that. Squirtle takes up the first gym and does it, and then you can just work on getting a grass type coverage for the second gym. But Charmander puts you on hard. You are stuck with those first two gyms, and while yes, you can trounce a lot of the early bugs and grass types if you encounter them, it gets tough until you hit the late game and they starts paying off. And that's a really interesting way to tackle an RPG, even if that was probably not super intentional.
And then they did it again in Gen 2, but completely fucked it up with Chikorita.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that.
Sketchy chose a fire type because of course he did, and then he wants to fight. Wouldn't be Sketchy if he didn't want to compete in something I just picked up that day, so of course he beats me. Should have gotten suspicious
how
potion
you got
first.
first pick and your rival, his grandson, didn't.
Yeah.
Whatever, I got that and a free one from the salesman. Dude, you're the worst salesman ever. Went to the mart and got
No, he's not! It's a promotional
It's a
event!
free sample.
It's a free sample. Do you not go to places?
No, she doesn't leave the house.
deputized into a special delivery service. This place is very trusting. How do you know I'm not going to steal it? I took it back to Professor Oak, so I guess he really did know. He gives me a Pokedex and tells me to fill it. By myself, I am 10. And now I'm completely off the leash. Record time, actually. If there's one thing about Gen 1 that still holds up, it's the fact that it quickly lets you off the choke chain to let you play the game. Even the catch...
Okay, sorry.
Again,
I just noticed this. Is this why
What?
they were called red and blue? Because they were literally red and blue?
aw.
How did I not
No, I
know
don't
this
know.
beforehand? How did I not know this? What the fuck,
Well,
man?
actually, you wouldn't know this because this was on the GBA. But not GBA, what am I saying? Game Boy. It was before the color. This game was in only monochromatic colors. So the blue Gary and the red U wouldn't exist till the Game Boy Color and some, enhanced feature.
Okay, fun fact. I played it on the not GBA. I played it on the Game Boy Color.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you're speaking about personal experience.
Yeah, I'm speaking about personal experience, because I actually did not notice that. Don't forget, my favorite version is yellow.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot.
So yeah, no, I just straight up did not notice this until just now. I am an idiot.
Anyways, I'm betting he's going to yap about it more in a moment, but I will spoil something
Gee.
with ahead. The whole off the leash thing she's talking about is like, and yeah, sorry, I'm so sorry that I misgendered it again. Anyways, the whole off the leash thing really isn't a huge problem until Gen 7. A lot of them do have that whole, you have the preliminary story stuff, but it only gets egregious around Sun and Moon. Before then, it's more or less just a little longer than what we see here.
Honestly, even then, I'm a bit sick. Even then, it's still just, you still only have the one pathway. You're not ever really truly free.
Well, yeah, but it's not a matter of how many pathways you have. It's the ability to do things like freely catch Pokemon without having to worry about hitting a checkmark or whatever, loading point where they say, "Oh, here's the story," or how freely you can move about a certain area. Again, Sun and Moon is the most restrictive in that sense, where there are points where you can literally only walk 5 feet ahead before the next cutscene, and there's nothing else you can do.
Fail.
By myself, I am 10. And now I'm completely off the leash. Record time, actually. If there's one thing about Gen 1 that still holds up, it's the fact that it quickly lets you off the choke chain to let you play the game. Even the catching tutorial is optional. If you don't know how to catch Pokemon, you can ask this guy, and he actually tells you can ask him the first time you pass him, but you can say no and carry on with your day. It's really that simple. And
Honestly,
That's
they should bring
baffling.
that back.
That's kind of crazy. I didn't know. Like, Game Freak is notorious for making no just be another button for yes, like, consistently. The fact that this is completely and utterly optional is insane.
Yeah, no, genuinely, they should bring this back.
Oh, and for the record, I'm not even talking about the Pokeball tutorial. I'm talking, like, any moment a character gives you an item, they are usually going to say, "Do you want to know how to use it?" And then you say no, and they tell you anyways.
Yep. It's kind of stupid. I understand the logic is, well, we have to make sure they know what it does, but it's like, then don't give us the question, just force it upon us. We're just gonna
Yeah.
get more pissed off if you gave us the option, and it doesn't matter.
But thou must.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised coming back to Gen 1 just how simple it was. I mean, we all talk about how Pokemon should let people skip the catching tutorial, and this becomes a weird debate among some people, but it exists in the first Pokemon game, and I find people forget that this was something we figured out a long time ago. So I snagged myself a Pidgey before moving on to Viridian Forest. In the forest, I was looking intently for a Caterpie, for far longer than seemed usual, actually. I kept running into Weedle instead, so I looked it up, and it turned out that the encounter rate for some Pokemon is different based on the version, not just the exclusives.
Yep.
No, I don't care for that. Should have played Yellow version, Lil. I did eventually find a meta
Yeah, and that's what I'm gonna be doing. Fuck you.
pod, though. I really want a Butterfree because I have a bone to pick with literally every single Poketuber on the planet. See, because my generation is kind of dumb, there's this idea that because Butterfree doesn't get stab moves, that makes it useless, that it's an early game Pokemon and you should soon replace. I disagree with that attitude, and I think that attitude is why Whitney and Cynthia made you all into whimpering piles of mulch and made you think you need to trick out a Weavile to even stand a chance. Also, Butterfree is literally perfect. Look at her. She is baby. Moving on to the first gym, and you know what? I kind of admire it. Brock even
I will say this will be coming back, and I will have bones to pick.
says at the start that his whole gimmick is defense, and unless you open with Squirtle, it's not going to be a straight one-shot. But there's something clever here. See, Brock's Onix uses Bide, a move that relies on taking damage, and it can very easily fuck you over if you feed it. A lot of people have pointed out that Bide is pretty useless because it gives...
If you saw that, Bulbasaur didn't get stab moves. Well, didn't get a stab grass type. It only had Leech Seed.
Oh wow, I completely blanked on that.
Well, remember, things got balanced for Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Oh right, the reason I didn't is when I messed around with Generation 1, I chose Squirtle, because I never really gave Squirtle a chance. So, yeah, I just used Squirtle, and if you want to know, Water Gun.
Yeah, Squirtle is the easiest way to go through Onix.
Correction, I just remembered Water Gun is found via TM, Bubble is what you start with.
Oh, Bubble, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, fun fact, you can get a TM for Water Gun in Pokemon Red, Blue, I guess Green, anyways. Yeah, a 40 base power move, just sitting around being a one-use TM. How well is that?
Yeah, honestly, I'm curious if she'll ever get into TMs. I guess we'll have to find out.
very easily fuck you over if you feed it. A lot of people have pointed out that Bide is pretty useless because it gives the enemy an opening to set up status moves, but that's the beauty of it. That's what the game is trying to convince you to do. As early as the first gym, the game is teaching you that status moves are the way to go. And for a Pokemon that is as defensive as Onix and has as low attack as Onix, Bide is a really good move to have. Well, it's not good in competitive, Lily. Yeah, but competitive has always been an afterthought. And I'm not talking about post-game, I'm talking about game. That's why I'm doing it this way. Anyway, that aside was to cover the fact...
Yeah, no, and I want to disagree with that statement.
Yeah, wait a minute, I just processed that. Oh no. Okay, firstly and foremostly, Game Freak did eventually consider competitive and actually started considering it about as soon as Gen 4, where they started introducing evolutions, giving other Pokemon better merits. Gen 5 introduced hidden abilities, which tried to also revitalize things. And then, of course, they kind of had a gray area and came back in Gen 8 with a passion, and that's where we got Mr. Fish.
Yeah, no, honestly, I would argue them trying to appeal to competitive did kind of ruin the balance a bit.
Yeah. So, Generations 1, 2, definitely not thinking about competitive. 3, maybe starting to think about people battling each other. But at Gen 4, it's basically like they did expect you to start fighting your friends online and so on.
And then 5, it just kind of sealed the deal. With how some of those Pokemon evolve.
Yep. The good news is that it didn't really start degrading again until really the latest late of Generation 7 and into Generation 8 at best, like at earliest. Really, it was just Generation 8 introducing, what's the name of Mr. Fish? Dracovish, Primate, but not Primate, the evolution of which was introduced in Gen 9. Oh, shoot, I forgot about the other gorilla. What?
We're talking about Annihilate?
Yes, thank you. So yeah, Annihilate was Gen 9, but we did get Galarian. Freaking memory's terrible.
Yeah, but anyways,
we got Fish, we got Monkey, we got a lot of messy stuff because they were saying, "Oh, people want competitive, so how could we spice that up?" Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Annihilate, though. Shout out
much
to
as I do wanna
my
get
friend.
True. I don't
I've-
have the same feelings, but anyways.
I have an
I
Annihilate named Hangry, and I fucking love him. Anyways,
I do need to speak about the other half of that statement, though.
the whole
Not-
trying to teach you thing
No, the post-game part.
post game. I've actually replayed that, so it's fresh in my mind. Because my main issue was her saying that they use bind to go and try to teach you. No, they decided to use bind so he doesn't fucking one-shot you. Because
Well, his attack is low, but...
his
I
attack
know
is
what you
low,
mean.
but his defense makes it practically impossible.
Yep. And I think it's just
Pokemon that
naturally
is
part
as
of his limit set
defense-
anyways.
Yep.
Status moves. But that's the beauty of it. That's what the game is trying to convince you to do. As early as the first gym, the game is teaching you that status
Sorry,
moves
just
are the
didn't
way
realize
to
that.
go. And for a Pokemon that is as defensive as Onix and has as low attack as Onix, Bide is a really good move to have. Well, it's not good in competitive, Lily. Yeah, but competitive has always been an afterthought. And I'm not talking about post-game, I'm talking about game. That's why I'm doing it this way. Anyway, that aside was to cover the fact that all I really did was chip them down with Leech Seed. First bad...
Sorry, pause. So, yeah, post-game does matter, and we'll see this coming into Generation 6.
Oh, trust
Ironically,
me,
you have
post
to talk
game does
about
not matter.
Boras. What?
Post game does not matter.
You think that?
No, that's what Lily believes.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Sorry.
I'm gonna spoil
but fun
something
fact,
real
she's-
quick. She is rarely
Yeah.
going to talk about side content, nor the post game.
Mad disgusting, by the way. Okay, but anyways, she's not the only one who believes this. Fun fact, by Generation 6, the actual president of Game Freak, I think, or director, no, I think it was director, my bad. Point is, one of the major heads absolutely wholeheartedly believed that the post-game was not important. That kids, but and the quote basically went along the lines of, kids would rather play on their mobile games on their iPhone than play our games. So if we make stuff that is beyond the credits, once they see the credits roll, they're going to put the game down and go back to Angry Birds and Subway Surfer.
Which is, okay, then don't make it for them. Like, kids are only a part of your fan base. Most of your fan base are teenagers now because they've grown up. Oh, most of them are
but
adults
these-
now.
But au contraire, you're forgetting Pokemon Company, who wants everybody to buy Pokemon, and I mean any and every living soul. So they started advertising the kids hard by the
Yeah.
new age of the generations. So that's why Gen 6 is baby easy. That's why they had this mentality, because their idea of a perfect world is one where you come out of the womb saying, I want Pikachu. And therefore you get your console and buy the game and start playing the game and loving the game. And only so much as to give them money, of course. They don't care if you play it forever and ever. They just want you to buy the latest hotness.
Yeah.
So, of course, they meant this mentality of we need to worry about getting kids away from their iPhones because the iPhones interrupt their ability for kids to shell out $40 to $60 to now $80.
It's a mess. But also off topic, and also completely wrong gen.
I know I'm jumping way ahead, but if she's gonna bring a post game, it kind of matters just to open up the dialogue.
Yeah.
Acquired. And Metapod...
But no, like, my main issue of it is that Brock is not necessarily there to teach you anything. Like, yeah, he can teach you
it's
that
meant to be a
status
challenge.
moves are important. But, like, that's the thing, though. That's only one method of it. Most kids, hell, I don't really use status moves against them, even still. I just get 2 Nidorans with double kick and just use them. Maybe even have a Butterfree
also-
with confusion. Because, like,
I find it funny that you love Annihilate, and I was like, oh yeah, I love my Annihilate. And there's a Mankey, which is supposed to be the Pokemon you get to deal with Brock.
I think it's because in Gen 1, Mankey doesn't really learn that many low-level fighting type moves.
Well, it's the Riolu problem.
I believe so. I need to double check on that one. I just remember having to
I
use
can't wait
Nidorans
to get
for
to
it.
Generation 5. Oh boy, can I not wait to get to Pokemon Black and White 2. Oh my lord.
What do you mean Black and White 2?
That's where we get to have catchable Riolu, and oh lord, I will save that for when we actually hit it.
Yep, okay.
was just a little bit from evolving, so I had to go take out another Weedle, which felt a little anticlimactic, honestly. But whatever, the important part is I have a Goral, who knows 0 new moves. Oh, god damn it! Mount Moon is the second dungeon in the game, and the first point of no return. After you clear it, it's impossible to get back to
gender didn't
Peter's
exist yet, Lamau.
Lamau.
City until you...
I mean, because of that, you could technically say they're all non-binary.
True.
Like, the only genders we have are the Nidoran lines.
And,
Unlock
you know, I'm not going to go with the Pokemon fact there.
access
you know,
to
you know.
Diglett's Cave in Vermilion. Mount Moon is your first introduction to Team Rocket, a group of Pokemon thieves that are plundering the mountain for Clefairy and fossils. They're all over the dungeon, but in truth you only have to fight maybe 3 or 4 to get through as they are actively blocking your path. This is an interesting decision because it means you get to decide how much you want to care about Team Rocket. Are you going to go through the process of stopping every grunt for the XP, or just take the ones that actively get in your way? That sounds like a weird thing to praise, but later games don't let you show this level of indifference to their evil teams. Toward the end, I picked up the Helix.
I'm gonna be honest, that is something that I do like about the old games. Because, I'm gonna be honest, after Sword, well, in Sword and Shield, it really felt, even before that, it felt like when it got to the 3DS titles, it kind of felt like the trainers were just kind of there, since the title system got reworked. Especially in Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, it just felt like trainers, like, blocking me were a bit odder. And then Sword and Shield didn't help that, and then that basically got removed in Paldea.
Yep.
And it's like...
I will admit, as a kid, I did love trying to have to dodge trainers because it's scary. Though nowadays, I just kind of plow through them. But it is a fun game of seeing how they have to look the other way, they pay attention to if you start running, all that.
Yep. But also, yeah, this is the start of the story, by the way. This is the start of the Team Rocket storyline. Let's see if Lily picks up on that.
Weird thing to praise, but later games don't let you show this level of indifference to their evil teams. Toward the end, I picked up the Helix fossil because I'm a cringy bitch who thinks internet memes are funny. Coming into Cerulean is where you...
It's almost like Lily's not a good person. So it's like, yeah, why would we not want to stop the evil organization from stealing fossils?
Well, it's more like you don't care about them, just in general. You don't find them interesting or important. Interesting.
It's like, I understand not caring much for the bad guys, but you should still stop the bad guys. Like, you might not care about Team Magma, you should definitely still want to stop them, though.
Teams. Toward the end, I picked up the Helix fossil because I'm a cringy bitch who thinks internet memes are funny. Coming into Cerulean is where you find your first mandatory rival battle. You know, there's an awful lot of debate about the whole mean rival v friendly rival dichotomy, but if I could take a moment to have a hot take, I don't think Blue...
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wait, why is Hops there?
Whoa, hold up. Whoa, why is Gary the friendly rival? What the
Yeah,
he was the start of the evil rival.
Yeah.
And Hop is not in need of a restraining order. I mean, he has issues, but not those issues. Also, saying fight sexual is reason for a restraining order is terribly insulting.
Yeah, you're fight sexual. You know all about that.
Yeah.
But no, she's about to explain why she put Blue there.
Coming into Cerulean is where you find your first mandatory rival battle. You know, there's an awful lot of debate about the whole mean rival v friendly rival dichotomy, but if I could take a moment to have a hot take, I don't think Blue is a mean rival. I know much of Pokemon fandom is on the internet and people on the internet think making friends is hard, but Blue and Red always seem to me like really close friends. Blue can come off like a smarmy asshole, but I mean, is 10. His dialogue always comes off more like good-natured slagging, like the two are always competing with each other, but in a fun way. I mean, his establishing character moment is effectively him saying, last one to complete the Pokedex is a rotten egg, and his catchphrase, smell ya later, is just see ya later with a different sense. And when you're 10, you think that's the height of comedy. And he's right, that is the height of comedy. Look at his actual dialogue in the game itself. He slags you off quite a bit, but never too much that it becomes unreasonable. He's a sore loser, but he talks to the player and gives them information like a kid going, hey, guess what I found? You should go check it out. I have no problem believing these two are friends. In fact, this is the most believable rival friendship in the entire series because the two of you are in competition, but it's clearly a friendly one. I honestly don't even know why the term rival even exists. Most people in real life don't have rivals, much like how most people don't have enemies. I know the
Okay, I'm gonna stop it there so I have some discussion time. But
if I may lead?
Can I actually start on this one? Because you got started the last couple.
Go ahead.
One, I'd like to point out on the rival comment, just so I get out of the way. Here's my rival. Strawb is my fucking rival here. Like, literally, a rival is just someone that pushes you to strive better. I literally was so petty that she bullied me in Guilty Gear Strive, and not bullying as in kicking my ass. I mean like by downplaying my character, my main Faust. That I went and trained with my other friend just to make sure I kick her ass even harder.
Yeah.
And like that's
Sorry, I don't like Faust, plainly.
and that's fine. That is fine. I just didn't like how you kept treating me when I play him.
Yeah.
But no, like that's kind
Anyways.
of the thing, though. That's what a rival is supposed to be. Is someone that pushes you further. Like, yes, you're right. We don't normally have rivals nowadays, but we also don't typically have someone that we're actively competing against to get better.
True. Anyways, so the things that stood out to me are she seems to be really underplaying the tells that Gary is kind of a jerk at best and an asshole at worst, which is what people generally realized him as. So it's kind of just like maybe there's something about you that isn't able to tell when someone's being a complete jerk to your face. The other thing is, though I don't have any real experience with Generation 1 in the long term, I only messed with it probably within the first 2 gyms, 3 maybe, I forget. But there's just the horror story of how his rifle battles can come out of nearly nowhere when you're unprepared and can't heal beforehand. So him just being like, I'm gonna battle you and you don't get the right to say no, is really mean. It's just unhelpful, and I can understand how it can breed a lot of frustration, thus make the perception that he's real evil. Because he
Something
can
I'll
just pop up out of... Well, yeah.
say is that most of his rivals are like right out of town. Because like obviously you have one in the lab, then you have 2 off of the coast of Viridian, one at the near the start of it, then one when you're heading to the League. Then the next one is, as we saw, in Cerulean City. Again, that's right in the town. Then it is on the SSN, which that one could be come out of nowhere without you healing. But also, you could just go straight to him and not having to battle a single trainer. Just don't do this, because then you might trigger the SSN leaving, and then you can't challenge anyone in there. Then it is in the tower.
Yeah,
Lavender's
that's where you get
tower.
to walk into him.
And that's near the very start of it. So you won't even get a a random encounter before you tackle into him. And then the one in... okay, so the other one that could ambush you is in Saffron City. Because he is right before the fight between Giovanni and that one. And then I think he goes AWOL for the rest of the game. Until the
Fair enough.
fight. So, like, really, there's only 2 that could blindside you. Any other time, you just didn't heal while you were in the city.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not to counter your point, but just to add on, clenching your butt cheeks as you try to leave a city is not a healthy activity.
Nah, it's not.
So yeah, trying to like predict that he's just going to be as you depart a city isn't exactly fun or healthy, so it just doesn't exactly make a good relationship per se. And Gary is far from like the worst, and I don't really know who the worst is exactly, but even so, he just gave a lot of people a pretty bad experience and never really came off as what the actual friendly rivals come off as somebody who is supportively friendly, who makes sure you're healed before you go to battle, who is there to actually just be your friend and not your rival. And sure, this kind of sucks, but it's actual friendly. That's why they're called the friendly rival, because they make an active effort to be kind to you.
Something I would say is that, Blue would tell his sister, not to give you the town, the region map. So,
Yeah.
he does actively try to sabotage you. Not only that, but he also points out his own, victories. Saying, oh yeah, I caught 40 types of Pokemon while he's on the SSN. And people did the fucking math, and that is quote-unquote impossible. The reason why I say quote-unquote is because you as a player can't do it in-game. But that's kind of the thing. Blue isn't restricted to in-game. And all of that, since he's always one step ahead of you, he might be privy to traits you don't have. He's also the son of Professor Oak. So, pretty much what I'm saying is he has fucking Nepo privileges.
Yep. Oh, and this whole discussion is avoiding the elephant in the room. Blue, Gary, whatever. Gary becomes the champion before you. Completely steals your thunder, and now you have to duke it out with him. So, yeah, no, it's it's hard to say he's the friendly one when he is truly and utterly your rival.
And also, he did not take it well when you beat Champion Blue. Like, he was like, what? How did I lose? I trained and trained! And the professors were like, dude,
Yep.
you didn't care for your Pokemon. Literally, the whole arc of Blue is that he is an asshole who doesn't understand the value of friendship. That's literally his arc. And that's why Blue, later on, even in as early as Gen 2, is nothing like his 10-year-old counterpart.
Yeah.
Like, no,
So-
Blue is an asshole. Because even when a friendly, quote-unquote, rival, like, blindsides you, they still ask, hey, do you want to heal up?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah,
Well, don't
no.
even ask. Sometimes they just do it out of courtesy. Anyways, this all is just really telling that Lily is terribly bad at picking up the cues that actually are telling of Gary, and is just like, no, guys, you're totally misunderstanding him. He's
Oh,
actually
God.
kind of a cool dude. There's no way he could be an asshole. It's like, oh yeah, your friend totally isn't toxic. I actually talk with them all the time. They're really cool. We talk about shit like Donald J. Trump.
Bad topic.
I'm kidding. Anyways,
But
I
yeah,
was just trying to make a euphemism that would obviously.
I
tell
know,
how
but
bad
be
things
careful
are.
with that type of shit on the internet.
I'm aware.
But yeah, point is, Lily, I don't think you understand Blue's arc here.
I know the
Or
cartoon
character
wrote Gary is
introduction.
an actual bully and full of himself rich kid, and I think people let that color their perception of Blue as a character. Then again, I have also noticed that people on the internet today are extremely touchy in regards to someone else simply seeming pompous. Internet dwellers treat arrogance like it's the single worst sin imaginable, and so I'm not surprised a lot of people took it weirdly personally when
I'll try to
Blue
make this
slags
quick though.
Yeah.
We are dealing with a hussy Astruct super cynic. Oh boy, we love dealing with hussy Astruct super cynics, which are to say people who are so hypersensitive to the general opinion and super critical of it that a lot of their opinions are just formed by, I don't like that the general opinion of this isn't nuanced and able to actually tackle the game, and there's a bunch of people misunderstanding it. So I'm going to pretend that I can be in their heads because obviously they're stupid enough to comprehend.
Well, yeah. I have nothing to say.
Sorry, I'm just doing a bit of a personal case on Lily Orchard as we're doing this review.
Yeah, just be careful with that one. I don't know how accurate you're gonna be.
Yeah.
But I want to point out before I continue, I did not tell Strawb to go into who Lily is blind. She decided just to do that herself.
I forgot to do research.
So this is gonna be interesting. You're gonna see the opinions of someone who has an idea of the person Lily is, and someone who has never seen her work before, or heard her work before. Anyways.
Yep.
the player off. We often blame children for the decision by seeming pompous. Internet dwellers treat arrogance like it's the single worst sin imaginable, and so I'm not surprised a lot of people took it weirdly personally when Blue slags the player off. We often blame children for the decisions of Game Freak, like the rival's characterization or the hand-holding the games are played with, but the truth of the matter is that people my age have been complaining about these games being too hard for a long time. Like, it wasn't Gen Z that made Whitney and Cynthia into a meme, or complained about a non-issue like the HMs. I honestly think one of the reasons characters like Charon and Bianca are so popular isn't because they have compelling character arcs, but because they kiss the player's feet.
We're going to go into this in Gen 5. Just hold off until then.
Yep. All I'm gonna say is wrong.
All I'm going to say is the reason why is because people like... Because, like, when you look at it, it's like, oh yeah, the HMs are a non-issue. Yeah, from a mechanical standpoint, actually that's technically not true, since you have to dedicate move slots, which are
HMs
pretty
are a
precious
huge issue.
in Pokemon, even in a casual playthrough.
HMs are a hot mess.
I do, like, the problem with it is, like, Scyther, the whole thing is to cut, yet they have to learn a specific HM to cut, and the more powerful version of it, Slash, can't be used in that one. Like, that is all gameplay, no actual logic behind it, type of deal. And that's kind of what the problem is.
Oh my gosh, you won the championship with a Bidoof? How? Oh, that was my HM slave. I forgot to take him out of the party.
Ha. Like, yeah.
I think it's
But yeah,
largely people my age.
Well,
I was just a little spoiler for Generation 5. I'm just gonna say, ba 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 ba.
copyright claimed.
No, no, don't do that. No, I'm just gonna say, like, if you did, like, just plainly put, there's gonna be some actually good character stuff happening, and Lily is completely sleeping on it.
Yeah, don't worry, that's normal.
Who like that about them. They often say they don't, but I think that's just social desirability bias. Every gamer has a praise kink, no matter how hard they try to convince you otherwise. Lily,
Don't make this about
Wrong.
BDSM.
Wrong, way too adult. So many things wrong with that sentence.
Yep.
stop bringing BDSM into Pokemon. It works.
You said that! You stole my joke! Motherfucker! I forgot she said that!
Oh, she's self-aware too. Yippee!
Fuck it up! You
Ugh.
stole my joke!
Okay, we get it, Lily. You have a
As
praise
a
kink.
Metaphor, all right. I like Blue, and I like him
Wah,
specifically
wah.
because he comes off like a more genuine friend than the sycophantic warbling of later rivals. Anyway, after
I still call bullshit
really-
on that. Like,
We already established that no, he's not a good friend.
Like,
By
Strawb-
much, at least. He's not.
Strawb, I have a genuine question here. If we were trainers in the Pokemon world, where would you put me on the rival scale?
You're definitely not a friendly rival. You're not, like, the mean, evil asshole, but you definitely are far too chaotic to be, like, polite.
So, Barry.
Actually, yeah. Yeah, you are Barry.
And where
Holy
would you
shit.
put Barry on that type of scale?
He is, like, the last dying hope of the mean rivals.
Okay, so, neutral leaning to mean.
Yep. Because there's a lot of, like, he's not intentionally assholish to you, but he's, like, he's just way too self-absorbed to be the polite, kind, friendly rival we see later.
Yeah.
That said, I will say he's probably the closest to a friend you'll ever have in the Pokemon series.
Yep. Sorry, I just wanted to point that out, because if anyone knows... Cause I trust Strawb in terms of, friendly rivals, mean rivals. Because I'm a bit of an asshole myself.
Yep. The mean rivals generally can be designed by, like, they're usually too self-absorbed, way too worried about their own success to be really a friend to you. And yes, many of the new ones that are friendly rivals are too polite and, giving towards you, but that's because they care. How cares a lot. Hop generally cares, so on and so forth. It's not
one
to
of them
suck
has
you.
a crush on you.
Why'd I say that?
One of your
Yeah.
quote-unquote rivals in X and Y has a crush on you.
Yeah, that too. It's not to suck up to you. It's just because they think it's important that you're, provided for as a friend.
Yep.
after helping Bill get out of his fursuit and getting a cruise ticket, we're finally able to challenge
suit.
Misty. Actually, wait, was the gym even blocked off? I don't remember. Whatever, Misty is a
The
water
gym
type
was
trainer, so Ivysaur's got this in the bag. Just constantly whipping those stars. Whip them good.
Honestly, if I recall, I
What?
think you're supposed to do the gym before you go to Bill. Because the
Oh,
gym's
yeah,
not
pretty much,
blocked
I
off at
guess.
all.
Yeah. Anyways, what is with the whipping and stuff? Lily, what are you on?
She already did the joke.
Oh. Oh no, I
trainers
just saw the
Ivysaur-
image of Misty. Oh no.
Ivysaur's got this in the bag. Just constantly whipping those stars. Whip them good. See, I told you it worked as a metaphor. Second badge acquired. Vermilion City has only two things of note. The gym and the SSN.
And in Pokemon Yellow, Squirtle.
Oh yeah, I forgot you get the starters.
Yep. Yeah. Although in Cerulean, that's where you get Bulbasaur and Charmander. Charmander's on the path to Bill's house. And Charmander, you need to have
Okay.
high affection with Pikachu.
Understood.
Just some knowledge, because I love Pokemon Yellow. It is probably... It's definitely up there for my favorite Pokemon game. But again, Pokemon game is different from favorite generation.
I'll try to talk about Pokemon Yellow later once Lily's done with all this, but I am kind of curious and digging into thoughts.
Yep. That's definitely for a different discussion, though.
Oh yeah, also Diglett's
Yeah.
Cave. The SS Anne is required to get to the gym, and it's crawling with optional trainers. You can just go right to your rival and the captain if you want, but I want that juicy XP, so I barged into every cabin and beat up everyone's pets like the completely reasonable person I am. I don't have a problem, fuck you. Now that I...
That sounds like something you do.
No, that's just normal Pokemon experience. Just find random people, beat them up, get their XP.
Yeah, fair.
cut, I can open the gym where... Oh, fuck, the trash puzzle. Nope, 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 nope.
Okay, so...
I'm sorry. So, I'm not going to say the trash puzzle's bad, but, like, with that groan, it sounded like, oh, wow, this is hell, when it's literally just have patients check various trash cans. It's not egregious.
I disagree. That is somewhat egregious. Because you get to the part where it's like...
Oh, hey!
Well,
oh, hey!
Oh, hey, she got lucky. But no, I was going to say, because it'd be a part of... you search them. You get too many wrong, it fucking resets.
Oh.
So then
what?
you'd have to go and find it. Yes. If you search and don't find the first switch for too long, it fucking resets. If you do find it and you don't find the very next one, which, to be fair, it'll always be right next to it. So if you get to, like, this centerpiece here, it'll always be on the left, right, up, or down of it. But if you get that one wrong, then it also all resets. This is kind of hell. There's no gameplay. It's just...
Never mind. I was uninformed.
You are very ill-informed. This is actually kind of egregious.
Oh, Lord.
Nope, 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 nope. Oh, hey! Oh, hey! Okay, so I'm through the trash puzzle and I caught a Diglett, which means I win. Your X speed can't save you now.
Yeah,
third badge acquired. Now that I have the third badge, I can go north to Saffron City and then west to Celadon. Actually, no, I can't because the guard is too thirsty to let me through. What I can actually do is go back to Cerulean City, take a roundabout route through this winding cliffside, go through a dangerous pitch-black tunnel, cut through a haunted oubliette, go through another underground tunnel, and then into Celadon. Just a small detour. I'd almost forgotten just how dreary the mid-game is. After you leave Rock Tunnel, your next task is to go through 2 back-to-back rocket areas, 3 if you decide to hammer out Sylph Code.
Why is that bad?
Yeah, like what?
Why?
That's just a cool way to challenge yourself and progress the story. Don't get me wrong, story can sometimes suck to deal with, but this one is literally just go and fight trainers. What's so wrong with that?
Oh, so wait, what do you mean 2 back-to-back? 3 if you include
I
Celadon.
haven't gone that deep.
Because while there is Team Rocket in Lavender Town's tower, they're not crawling in the area. They're literally just on the final floor, trying to get Mr. Fuji to help them.
It could be a different pacing in Pokemon Yellow, but Lord only knows.
No, it's not.
Alright.
Right away. You can skip the rocket hideout by using a Pokédoll on Marowak, but for sake of this video, I, didn't. And going through the track of Team Rocket's hideout, then Celadon Gym, and then Pokemon Tower is not great. It's too many dungeons and cities with very little overworld to break it up. And this is only compound...
But you don't necessarily need the overworld. You're still exploring.
Yeah, it's like boldly assuming you needed the overworld and all the free time to do other things when... I mean, don't get me wrong. Being unable to encounter Pokemon in, Lavender Tower is kind of sucky because the whole thing, but it's trying to...
Just,
oh, really? You can find Ghastly?
Yeah, it's just only the Ghastly and Haunter line, but yeah.
Oh, I thought it was that until you managed to clear out the dead mom, it was only going to be the ghosts that you couldn't catch.
No, in order to fix that, so the thing is, the reason why you have to go to Team Rocket is because you have to go get the Silph Scope. You go to the Rocket, you beat Giovanni, you get the Scope, then all the ghosts that you see in the tower will have their true form appear.
I see. Got it.
So that's how that works. Also, ghosts will not attack you.
Oh.
It will just tell you to go away. So it's not trying to... The reason why it does it, because it's not trying to punish the player. Because the player can't do anything to Ghost. Can't catch it, can't battle it.
Yep.
It can only run. So,
it's
like...
almost as if they're trying to scare you away.
Ooh...
by the fact that the next area after this is the very long and very interesting area between Lavender Town and Fuchsia City. Gen 1's biggest problem is that it's often unevenly spaced, and a lot of the major areas are clustered in Celadon and Saffron. It's a similar issue I have with...
Saffron is the capital! What do you mean?
Yeah, it's like, I vibe against you, but I'm not exactly sure how to counter you what you're saying.
like, Saffron is literally the one with all the skyscrapers, and the fucking Megacorp site Selfco is in.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Plus,
weird.
it's the mid game. That's where your content is supposed to get more complex than walk in a straight line usually.
Hell,
So of course it's going to be more dense.
this is also when the game really opens up for you, because you have 2 ways to go. Hell, 3 actually, if you want to tackle Saffron City.
But Lily is considering this a problem.
Yep. Like, there's 3 ways you could go, 2 of them being blocked by a Snorlax. Go to Saffron, you could get that out of the way, which means you can also get the 6th gym out of the way. If you can manage that, then the actual next gym would be free EXP. Like,
But forgetting, is 6th gym Blaine or is that the 7th?
Blaine is the 7th. 6th is Sabrina.
Right. I got it.
Unevenly spaced, and a lot of the major areas are clustered in Celadon and Saffron. It's a similar issue I have with Goldenrod in Generation 2. Too much is crammed in here, and you end up spending way more time in this area than you'd ever want to at any other.
It's a capital!
Gods.
It's a capital city!
Yeah, sorry, as I was trying to say, gods, I have to wander around and talk to NPCs to get a better feel of this world. NPCs that are also optional, by the way. I don't even have to talk to them. I'm doing it of my own volition.
Seriously, that's like going to fucking Tokyo and only seeing the fucking, like, back ends.
Yep.
Like, no, you're
You are
in
encouraged to... Go ahead.
You're in the big city. You're where all the trading happens. Of course, there's gonna be a shit ton to do here, because the shit ton happens in the capital.
And you're expected to explore and take your time with this game. You're not here to bull rush through it.
Yeah.
Point. I actually slammed out Celadon Gym first since Pidgeotto and Butterfree needed the easy XP, and since I was going to be in that basement for a while. Going to the game corner, you beat up the guard and dive into the basement for a series of moving tile puzzles, which, I don't wish to be melodramatic, are the worst fucking things in the game. Not because the movement itself is bad, but because it's so painfully slow.
So it is a movement. Like, I'm not kidding. She just contradicted herself, right?
Kind of. She's trying
Puzzles,
to say,
like-
it's not that I have to solve a puzzle based on predicting where I'm going to be, it's just that it takes so long.
I don't wish to be melodramatic, are the worst fucking things in the game. Not because the movement itself is bad, but because it's so painfully slow. Later games speed this up, but wow, this is cursed. I move through one floor,
guess.
get the lift key.
I'm
Yeah,
just
that's
saying.
what
It's
she's trying to say. It's not that the puzzle is unfun, it's actually kind of neat. But the pacing is bad, so it really draws out just what's supposed to be a simple, done thing. I think just have a bit of patience, mind you, but I get the frustration.
I'm going to be honest. Yes, they're a bit slow, but she should have chose a better word than movement. It's not the movement, rather than discuss movement.
True.
Like, that makes sense, but it's like, don't want to complain about the movement, but the movement's slow.
Yeah, the better translation is, I don't want to complain about the puzzle, but the pacing is horrendous.
We move through the second, get to the elevator, we meet Giovanni for the first time. Giovanni's thing is ground-type Pokemon, unlike the rest of his team who uses Pokemon that are the easiest in the game to actually get. You know, that
I wonder why.
No, there's a reason for this. It's almost as if all of his grunts aren't supplied good Pokemon and have to steal them, and chances are they don't even get to do that, so they just have to catch random wild Pokemon that will be shoved into a Pokeball without needing to fight them.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure she was just about to say that.
Oh.
I just wanted
My
to
bad.
pause it to mention, it's almost like it's setting something up.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
actually says something about Giovanni. Like, he went out of his way to import a Kangaskhan for himself, but just drags up whatever can be found on the cheap for all of his grunts. Makes no difference because this capitalist rat's going down. After that, we're headed to Lavender Town, the only real point of interest in this part of the game, which stands out by how bleak and sad the whole place is, and how migraine-inducing the music is because some dick decided, hey, let's make this track really loud and harsh and see how much we can torture the Game Boy speaker. They
I love Lavender Town's theme. Fuck you.
Not to mention, though, I haven't checked how real this was, but as far as I can remember, the original Japanese audio had a slight high-pitched whining embedded in the song, which, not intentional, I assume, but it definitely helped adding to the gratingness of the song, because there's ever so slight whining, droning through the entire tune. The rest of the
Okay.
song is absolutely fine, though.
Okay, but she's not playing the Japanese version.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
So
Sorry,
that
my knowledge came
doesn't
from
apply.
my knowledge came from the whole theory that it's a super cursed song to cause people to, off themselves. So
I was gonna say
I was thinking about the whole in the collage.
Also, if you're thinking about that one, yeah, no, I'm also sure that's fake. Just the only
Probably, yeah.
creepypasta stuff.
Yeah, but there's probably something about how the chips play the sound that made it really grating for people, not just Lily.
Oh no, that I believe in. I just genuinely like the song. Do
Oh yeah,
do do do.
Tortured that poor little speaker until it was begging for more. I mean, mercy. And frankly, I don't think we needed to know what the effects of VR headsets would be if they were
Lily,
focused
chill the
entirely
fuck
on your
out.
ears, but somebody at Sharp would apparently need a Game Boy speaker. They tortured that poor little speaker until it was begging for more. I mean, mercy. And frankly, I don't think we needed to know what the effects of VR headsets would be if they were focused entirely on your ears, but somebody at Game Freak would apparently disagree. Whoever wrote these tracks owes me some Tylenol. Lavender Town is practically infamous for how sharp of a tonal shift it is, inspiring about 20,000 crappy ghost stories written by kids. But honestly, I think that's about the only real value Lavender Town has. Personally, I always found the Viridian.
Okay, so you're just gonna completely miss the whole point of Lavender Town.
Yeah, it's supposed to be something really cool and spooky, ghosts, and honestly, something that Pokemon really didn't dare to do again. The ghost encounter, that was basically bypassing all the rules of the game.
Okay, so Lavender Town exists for a very important reason for the player, and that's to show that these Pokemon can and truly will die. That is a possibility waiting for every Pokemon out there. No matter how much you love them, no matter how much you take care of them, they will die. And these are the spirits of dead Pokemon. That's the whole point of Marowak. A Pokemon who tried to save its baby from Team Rocket. Oh look, Team Rocket mentioned again. Who lost its life in that attempt at the cruel, cruel hands of Team Rocket. That you have to go and battle it to appease its spirits so it can may finally rest. That is what Lavender Town brings to the game. That is the importance of Lavender Town and the Ghost-type Pokemon. And fuck you for not getting that, Lily. This is basic level shit in storytelling.
Forgive me, I blanked on that as well, but that's more so because I blanked on it. Anyways, I just realized a little detail that I never thought about before.
But here's the thing though, you're not trying to do retrospective on it. You're not trying
Fair.
to hold this high and mighty position of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go through the game and see what actual value it has. No, you're just here watching an idiot talk about a game series.
Yeah, fair. Anyways, but back to the Marowak, I just kind of realized an interesting detail. I don't think Giovanni's team has a Cubone or Marowak, but that's a ground type that the Team Rocket was hunting.
Let me double check that actually.
It makes me wonder if the reason it was a target was because he wanted it badly and they were gonna go get it, but shit happened.
Yeah, no, Giovanni, to be fair, it could have been traded to another, like, the Cubone could have escaped. It could have been given to another person.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying they absolutely definitely got captured. I'm just saying, like, maybe they were a target because Giovanni wanted another ground type for his team.
Okay, so that's what I'm thinking of. Giovanni does have a Marowak in Black 2, White 2.
Oh.
Although only for, one of it. For the, Type Expert World Leaders. Yes, so for the Kanto Leaders Tournament, he has a Marowak. Doesn't appear in the Type Expert / World Leaders Tournament. And...
Yep.
yeah, I think that's it. So you used it once.
Mm-hmm. But for the sake of Red-Blue, yeah, just Red-Blue story, technically it's speculation of in-game, not in-game, what's it called? Visual storytelling, I guess? You know what I'm talking about, right? Where it's not ever said, but you can put pieces together to make the story make more sense.
It's implied.
Thank you.
But yeah, no. We don't know what happened to Cubone. And if I recall, is Fuji might have been the one who said the fate of it. I don't remember. It's been so long since I played Yellow.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if the Marowak was a target, not just a happenstance.
It could have been both. Because if the Marowak wasn't gonna go down, Team Rocket might have saw no choice but to kill it. But yeah,
Anyways,
no,
this
it's
is
like,
getting a little too sidetracked.
yeah, sorry. This is just important because that's one of the best pieces of storytelling in Gen 1. And it hurts that it got completely missed.
Yep.
Forest theme to be much creepier, but there's nothing as charming as reading some bad campfire story about the cartridge ejecting itself from the Game Boy at Mach 5 and lodging itself in your throat to punish you for looking at ghosts. Yeah, there's my hot take of the day. Lavender Town is actually kind of shit, and it's only entertainment.
Fuck you!
Wow, actually, fuck you. Oh my god.
Also, fuck you for dissing on the creepypasta scene. Like,
Yeah, that's culture.
like, I understand that most of them are shit, don't get me wrong. But, like, that's the thing. It was an early form of fanfiction.
It being not super quality was part of the fun.
Not to mention, it also made it very shocking when you did find a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we've been at this for an hour, and we're only 13 minutes in. Fuck.
Oh, Lily, you drive us insane.
For looking at ghosts. Yeah, there's my hot take of the day. Lavender Town is actually kind of shit, and its only entertainment value is kids scaring each other with rumors and creepypasta. Otherwise, it's just another too long dungeon that demonstrates how weak ghosts are to psychic in this game. This part of the game
It's only 4 floors, you dumb fuck. And there's also a hill right in the middle of it.
Hmm.
Also, I just want to say
Otherwise,
what
it's
he
just
said-
another
what
too
Fuji
long
says.
dungeon
Can you
that
save me? Also, can I just point out how fast that text is going?
She's holding A so hard.
demonstrates
I came here
how
around
weak
free will.
ghosts are
I came to calm the soul of Q-Bone's
psychic
mother.
in this game.
I think Marok's spirit has
This part of the
gone.
game is
And then
open-ended, but it's clear they want you to go in a particular
Yep.
order because the levels of individual Pokemon do not actually compensate for which way you're going. After Erica, Koga and Sabrina have huge spikes in levels because the game assumes you're going to have gone through 3 entire dungeons before reaching them, and you'll have had to have gone through at least 2 of them to get to them anyway. You're not getting
Okay, that's technically not even true, though. Because
you need the self kill.
yeah, like you need to go to, and here's the thing, you don't even have to do one. Like, yeah, the game expects you to do it, but that's the thing. That's what the game expects you to do. You don't have to do shit. Like, you could skip Erica and have Erica be the last gym. Actually, no, that's not true. Because Giovanni, it will always be the last one. But still, you could save Erica for like the 7th gym if you really wanted to.
Yeah, side note, am I tripping or is there something wrong with this map? Where's Cinnabar Island?
Cinnabar Island's off screen.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Because
Like,
Cinnabar Island
not
would
a
be
land
further
mass-
down here.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, like, there's not a land mass that just drives you to Cinnabar Island. It has to be something else, but I don't remember what.
Because, yeah. Holy shit, it is Yeah, no, even Pewter City is off the map, because that's Cycle Road.
Oh, wow.
This is Cycle Road.
Yeah.
Like, by the way, this is not a complaint
What a
on
weird
Lily.
factor.
This is just us seeing being overanalyzing a reference she has.
Yeah, this is just weird render of the map.
Yep. Especially this. What the fuck?
Port.
The ship goes nowhere.
It just kind of mopes about.
Wait, how is that possible? Wait, yeah, hold on. Wait, yeah, no, that actually is accurate. Yeah, how the fuck does that go anywhere? I never noticed
Maybe
this.
it's a sightseeing ferry.
No, it's the SSN. It actually goes places. Okay, that's just
weird.
an oversight on Game Freak's part.
Yep.
Because, yeah, no, that's Saffron. But, yeah, no, so my point is, honestly, after you get the 3rd badge, you can basically go mostly wherever you want to go. Because the only other requirement is strength, and I don't remember which one who you need to be for that one. And then soft, which you get from Koga, who is the one down here.
Right.
You just have 2 places you could go down to get there. Because, what is, Giovanni's levels? I pulled it up, and I have to pull it back up. Yeah, in Silpho, he is level 40. Well, not
That's
level
to
40.
the north, right?
Yeah, and that's Saffron. That's number 5.
Yep.
Level 37, 37, 35, 41. That's specifically in yellow in the version she's playing. 37, 35, 37, 41. So yeah, about the same.
To Fuchsia City without the Poke Flute, and you're not going to Sabrina without
Yep, you need 3 for that.
Silpho. Sure, you can do them in any order if you're determined enough, but you still have to do all of them, and there is a very strict recommended order right on the trainer card. After the gauntlet,
It's almost like it's an RPG.
It's almost like that's how game development is. Like,
It's almost as if trying to account for nebulous movement plans is really hard for a game developer to design for. So putting a meaningful pathway for the player to follow helps not account for as many fringe cases.
like here's the thing. One, this is still early on in RPG life, especially for the handheld. And 2, all RPGs are like this. Hell, this Gen 1 is more open than some later Pokemon games.
Oh yeah.
Because, like, in order to get to... I honestly forgot the place Koga's gym is. Like, in order to get here,
Actually,
you
oh my
could
God.
go Cycle Road, or you could go down this way. Sure, you need the Poke Flute no matter what. But the point is that you still have 2 ways to go there, and you can completely skip Erica's gym. You can completely skip, Sabrina's gym. Or hell, tackle Sabrina first before you even go down there.
Yep. I just realized
That is
something.
freedom. Yeah?
He is complaining about required progression in Pokemon. Do you know what Pokemon is known for?
Banning linear.
Hi, welcome to our city. If you would like to leave our city, please beat our gym leader in order to collect the right to use the HM you collected in the previous city to progress just a little further. Like,
That
it's
happens in this
fundamental
game.
to the Pokemon the fundamental experience of Pokemon is getting roadblocked and, brought into a more linear story progression. That's completely natural for anything. If she is complaining about, like, the flute and the scope and all that, that's just a natural extension of the HMs, and mainly the HMs. I was going to say the bike, I don't know why. But yeah, no, all of
Because
this
the
is just
bike was used
required
for
progression.
transportation. Look, in order to get through, like, obstacles before.
True. But yeah, like, the whole point is to handle things in a way that's more predictable, get certain important upgrades, and then progress steadily. So the whole idea of skipping around is frankly foreign to the rest of the Pokemon series besides Generation 1.
Yep. I mean, you can also do it in Gen 2, but Gen 2, I don't. We're going to get into what I don't like about Gen 2 down the line.
Alright.
have to do all of them, and there is a very strict recommended order right on the trainer card. After the gauntlet that is Celadon and Lavender Town, you get to go...
So I want to point out on the trainer card comment, that's every fucking game. Every fucking game shows you the order.
That's what I was trying to express. Like, she's complaining about it right now, and that's just every Pokemon game.
It's stupid.
Through the best route in the game, Route 12. It takes you through a bridge, over a coastline, down into a fenced path, and then back onto the main road to Fuchsia City. It's the longest route in the game, packed to the brim with trainers, and there's no rest stop at any point. This is one of the few points in the game that feels like you're actually traveling. The route is so expansive.
It's just a glorified dungeon.
Oh, but this one is not a dungeon because you get to walk around instead of walking around, and you get to go places instead of climbing stairs, and not everywhere is grass.
Okay, but what makes it different from like Rock Tunnel?
Nothing.
Then it actually takes a while to get to Fuchsia City. It replicates the arduous journey of traveling between towns as best as the Game Boy can. I love this route.
Or you could also just take Cycling Road.
Also, you say that as if it's important that things be an arduous time of travel.
Like, don't get me wrong, I do love just walking around and exploring shit. However, this is kind of one of my least favorite parts just because there's a lot of water everywhere. Which means, hey, I don't really necessarily need to get any encounters. But there's also just not a lot going on either. Save for the occasional fisherman.
Yep. Also, complains about being railroaded in the story is literally praising one of the most railroady geographical locations, where it's just a bunch of lanes that you can't deviate from unless you have surf, except the fence area, which is legitimately just lanes you can go down, and the main road. So, like, do you like linearity? Do you not like linearity? Can you make up your mind at all?
She likes to walk.
So much. It really captures what I mean about how Pokemon's difficulty is based primarily on endurance. Seriously, the next time you play a Kanto game, go through this route and fight every trainer without going back to heal at the center. It's an amazing experience. Arriving in
Sure.
Okay, I do, and I'll be honest, it kind of feels like a time waste because it's the exact same fucking thing.
It sounds like an experience. Not exactly a good one.
I mean, it's a fine one if you like Pokemon battling. Like, again, I think the part what I hate is that there are a lot of times I don't necessarily disagree with what she's saying. It's just that she's phrasing it in such a wrong way.
Such a high and mighty, like, oh, you will enjoy it this way. Like, sure, yeah, it's fun to challenge, but at the same time, it's just an endurance test. I'm not going to be super thrilled all the time by a massive endurance test.
Not to mention, those fence areas in the water area, those are primarily flying and water types. If you have an electric type, that's not gonna fucking matter, really.
Yeah.
Like, that's a problem.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's also the area that shows off poor water type. It gets so, like, shafted. Oh yeah, I beat
Yeah.
water types and such. No, most of the water types have a secondary typing that helps it deal with grass.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Fuchsia City, Butterfree steamrolled through Koga's team with only one minor hiccup requiring a switch
Cause Psychic is OP.
out from Pidgeotto. City, Butterfree steamrolled
Okay, that was I need to stop just pausing mid-sentence.
trainer without going back to heal at the center. It's an amazing experience. Arriving in Fuchsia City, Butterfree steamrolled through Koga's team with only one minor hiccup requiring a switch out from Pidgeotto. I'm quite happy about that. Butterfree's actually been carrying the entire team since I stopped off in Saffron for Psychic, and I'm feeling very vindicated by this. See, I was watching old PokeTuber videos because
based on the
that's something
footage.
I occasionally end up
Yep.
doing, and a common theme for Butterfree in Gen 1 is that she's good in the early game and not very good anywhere else. And like I said, I had a bone to pick about that, so I resolved to keep Butterfree on my party and sweep the game, and so Butterfree turning out to be my best Pokemon is very vindicating. I snagged the items
Okay, so I want to point something out. Before we continue, I want to point out, Butterfree critted that Pokemon twice in a row.
Oh my, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, so I want to
I'm
point
sorry.
that out, because without that crit, it would not have even done half damage. Half health.
Mm-hmm. Additionally, coughing, wheezing, I believe are physically defensive, but Grimer is the one who tries to be more specially defensive, if even. Because, again,
let
early
me-
game, I don't know how the special stat was given to them.
Let me double check. Because
On top of that, well, while you find that, I'm going to start yapping about Butterfree. The reason we don't like Butterfree is, again, they don't get a stab move, and stab moves really matter. Yes, super effectiveness is nice, but outside of that, non-super effective moves can really suffer in damage. So having even something as simple as Gust, or if magically a bug-type move existed in Generation 1, any of that would have helped Butterfree's case.
Pin
Even
Missile
then,
existed, by the
Butterfree's
way,
stats are
they just
kinda-
didn't learn it.
Butterfree's stats are kind of... Sorry, what was that?
The wall bug type moves, it's just that the only good one was Pin Missile.
Right.
And Butterfree
yeah.
didn't learn it. So, like,
I love
very
Picho.
limited typing.
Yeah. Anyways, what was I trying to say? Oh yeah, Butterfree's stats aren't great, but then again, I realized when I was messing around with Pokemon Blue, Pidgeotto was one of my best Pokemon, and that was with Quick Attack and Gust, two 40 base power moves. I think something about the early game just wasn't so hyper geared yet, so even low performance could make a meaningful difference. I don't know why, mind you, but it just seemed to be how it felt.
Also, I pulled up Butterfree's stats. 60 HP, 45 attack, 50 defense, 80 special, 70 speed. Note, Butterfree's one of the few Pokemon where the special split did nothing for it. It has 80 in both special attack and special defense.
Fair. Yeah, I mean, by modern days, 80 is a slouch. But that's kind of the point of Butterfree anyways.
Like, back then, that was perfectly fine. But it's like, that's
yeah.
the thing, though. It's like, if it got hit by a physical type move, it's just dead. It's weak to some of the most common types of Pokemon.
Also, that means it's gonna just instantly die to a flying type because they were universally physical back then.
Yep. Which is what made Pidgey such a good Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to cover the physical special split. Poor
Good.
Pidgey.
Because, like, yeah, no, it's like, and here's the thing, it's like, I also feel like she kind of misses the point of it. The reason why we critique Butterfree this way is because you're talking on a competitive level. Competitive is a whole different beast. Any competitive team will fucking sweep the base game.
Yep.
So it's like, if you're
Moreover,
Butterfree...
it's just like,
Yeah.
no, Butterfree kind of underperforms in general, and that's like the point of it. It's meant to underperform because it gets a major boost compared to a lot of early Pokemon, but doesn't hold up against actual fully evolved Pokemon. That's the point.
Would you like to know
So-
what moves it naturally learns, by the way?
Sure.
Confusion, Poison Powder, Stun Spore, Sleep Powder, Supersonic, Whirlwind, Gust, Psybeam.
Gust that late is insulting. And also physical. Anyways,
Yep, so it
wait.
would not make use of it.
Oh, that's why they gave it psychic moves.
Also, it can't learn
Oh,
Psychic.
physical
Oh no, it does
special.
learn Psychic, never mind.
Sorry, I hate physical special non-split. I realized they gave it non-flying moves because, well, those would be physical and it can't utilize those.
But normal's physical in this.
Well, yeah, normal. I was referring to how it gave it psychic moves.
Yep.
Because flying would be physical.
And it can learn, literally it learns, in Gen 1 specifically, it only learns two poison type moves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is including TMs, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 Psychic. 4 Grass. One of them being Mega Drain, and the other being Solar Beam. And the rest is just normal. So literally, for your Butterfree, all you really have are the poison, or the powders. Toxic, Psychic, and maybe Solar Beam.
Yeah.
Because Mega Drain
It's
does
rough.
fucking nothing back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 40 power is
And it's
not
like-
a lot for a heal move.
Actually, well, no, hold on. I was just talking about how 40 base power was good for Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto. Where it doesn't seem like much, but just the general low performance overall kind of made it worthwhile. So, Mega Drain would actually be pretty solid.
But yeah, no, like, this is why we diss on Butterfree, because, yeah, no. This also goes to the philosophy of Pokemon, where you can use your Pokemon that you love, and that's kind of the point. Which, to me, kind of disproves this whole shtick Lily's trying to push for. Because she's trying to push, like, oh yeah, Butterfree is a great Pokemon. It's like, no, competitive is shit, and in the base game, you can make anything work. If you try hard enough.
Also, sorry, I should have thought about this earlier. Nobody's openly dissing Butterfree. What we are doing is admitting the game design intended weakness that it's not meant to last. But nobody's out here saying, well, you Butterfree, I think you should kill yourself.
Oh, also, Butterfree learns Flash and Yellow only.
Nice. But
So, that was
yeah,
just a
like,
funny thing I
Butterfree
noticed.
isn't a terrible Pokemon. It's just a Pokemon with a glaring weakness that we can bring up as a factual and game intended weakness. That's not tearing Butterfree apart. That's just admitting intentional flaws in its design.
Yep, nope, because, again, it's not supposed to stay around. It's supposed to be traded in after... It's really Brock.
Yeah, maybe Misty at best.
Misty at best, and even then, you're going to be going against Stormies. Psychic type Pokemon.
Right.
So, like, yeah, no, unfortunately, Butterfree... And even then, like, the only other good ones I'll have is... Koga, and that's only because this only good moves are psychic type moves, and there are so many better psychic type Pokemon out there. Like
well, there's
yeah.
Kadabra, and then there's not much else actually. There's Drowsy, I guess.
Drowsy is better than Butterfree, because Drowsy has, let me see.
Yeah, Stab.
Drowsy gets Stab on that, so 1.5, and it still has a respectable, why is this special attack so shit? Anyways, in Gen 1, which is what we're talking about, it has a 90
Drowsy
base
is
special.
Hypno. Hypno.
Oh, yeah.
You can evolve it into Hypno. But I just thought Drowsy because it came to mind.
Yep,
Anyways,
sorry. I should have pulled that one
other
up.
psychics that you can actually use, though they're not super common yet.
Okay,
but,
so,
yeah.
Hypno in modern day, this isn't even including back then, has a special attack of 73. In Gen 1, its special was 115.
Let me guess, that went into a special defense.
Yep, that one is a special defense.
Oh, yeah. But, ooh, 115. Oh, Lord.
So yeah, Hypno in Gen 1 was kind of a beast.
Yeah, wow.
And also, this completely outperforms Butterfree. Like, again, the only reason I would have a Butterfree over essentially any other Pokemon is I'm that desperate for Powders. And we know Lily has a fucking Bulbasaur. So Powder shouldn't even be a problem.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, again, you can love Butterfree. You can take it far. And Butterfree can be a good Pokemon. But when comparing it to others, it is outclassed.
And we are ultimately considering its intentional flaws.
Yep. Kind of like how we say Magikarp is a bad Pokemon, although the point of it is to be bad. Until you get it to evolve to
Level
Gyarados.
15. Wait, no, not level. Level 15 is... Wait.
I was gonna say, wasn't it 18?
Something happens at level 10, something is level 15. I think 20 could be evolution. I don't remember.
18.
But at some point it gets tackled.
Just because of this, I now have to look it up. Fuck you.
I know, sorry. I think level 10 is tackle, level 15 is evolution.
Level 20 is evolution.
Okay.
And it learns tackle at 15 and fail at 25.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, we're getting very off topic now.
Yeah,
I need it from the Safari Zone without...
We need to back up a bit.
And like I said, I had a bone to pick about that, so I resolved to keep Butterfree on my party and sweep the game, and so Butterfree turning out to be my best Pokemon is very vindicating. I snagged the items I needed from the Safari Zone without much care, because I actually don't like the Safari Zone all that much. It was interesting for the rare Pokemon you could find there, but I've already got my team in mind and have no need for anything in there, and not being able to battle them just makes the whole ordeal annoying. This was the area I was least looking forward to, so we're moving on to...
Gonna be honest, I kind of have to agree.
What, with the Safari Zone? I wasn't paying perfect attention.
We're going over the Safari Zone. I also don't like the Safari Zone because trying to catch a Pokemon there feels impossible. So I'm just spending thousands of Pokedollars for nothing, essentially.
Let's go gambling.
And which sucks because I want to use Dragonite. I've always wanted to use a Dratini. I always wanted to use a Tauros. I always wanted to use a Kangaskhan. I always wanted to use those Pokemon, but I could never fucking catch them.
Wait a minute, I think I actually got as far as the Safari Zone when I messed with the game.
Oh, interesting. Did you give the gold teeth to the old man?
Oh, I don't know.
If
Maybe
not,
I only
you have to
researched
do it
the
back.
Dratini's there. I don't know, but I could have sworn I messed around with that. I could be totally wrong.
Maybe you could also be thinking of something else.
It's a fuzzy memory. I know I definitely researched it.
It's the whole ordeal annoying. This was the area I was least looking forward to, so we're moving on to... damn it, that's even worse. There's a problem in Saffron City in that most of the city is on lockdown until you clear out Team Rocket from Silphco. And I'll be honest,
Oh no.
I think Silphco is the worst area in the entire series. It is a labyrinthine dungeon that you have to use these extremely awkward teleporters to zip from room to room until you find the card key, and it's an intense maze of locked doors, teleporters, and just the worst kind of rocket fights in the entire damn series. And I am including Gen 2's radio tower in that. Oh my fucking god. If you know exactly where to go, or cheated and looked at the map like I did, because fuck this dungeon, it's not long, but if you don't, like most people don't, oh my god, this is arduous. You're lost in this maze, having your resources chipped away on—
Hold on, 1 second. Staryu, Primeape, Pidgeot, Butterfree. Oh, that Pidgeot is freshly evolved. Butterfree, Venusaur, Why is your Haunter 29? Why is your Staryu 21? What is this team?
He picked him up much later in betting. Like, oh, I guess I'll go back for them or something like that.
But that is the worst time to do it.
Actually, it could also, this is way before EXP share, so it could just be she focused on the others and these are afterthoughts until she needed a type in a type matching.
But the problem is, this is about level 40 that they're about to encounter. That Venusaur is going to have a struggle. The Primate's going to have a struggle. That Staryu and Haunter have no chance. And skills don't exist. So that Haunter could eat an Earthquake and just die.
Yeah. But hey, Butterfree's level 40.
Oh, nice. I'm going to crush it with a rock.
Anyways, it's just, I don't know. It just seems like she's allergic to tedious gameplay, which can suck, don't get me wrong, but it's fairly ever truly flawed because other people can have patience and just experiment with it. I mean, I have a friend who loves puzzles and so would probably love exploring this dungeon and figuring them out himself.
I'll admit, Saffron headquarters can be a bit annoying because it is several floors. And teleporting squares that'll send you any which way. But it's also fun because you're exploring an entire business. Running up and down, fighting trainers, trying to make a mental map of where it is. Because that's one of the things I love, is trying to forge a map in my head that I could recall and follow through on.
And he makes it sound like the teleporters are so arduous and take 5 to 10 business days. No, it's not that long, and nor is exploring it so long. And the trainers are just trainers. Oh, it's bleeding my resources. Well, you kind of just took a snapshot of your team, so there's that.
Oh, so why is Staryu up front? Like, EXP share does exist in this game.
Oh, it does? Oh.
Yeah, you have to catch... Oh, maybe that's the situation. She didn't catch 50 Pokemon. Okay, so there are 3 Professor Aids scattered throughout the world. You get the Flash TM from one of them. I forget what the other one gives you. And you also get the EXP share. Because you can't hold on to items in Gen 1, the EXP share basically does what modern Pokemon does. And it just spreads it out through everyone.
But she probably didn't have the patience to, complete the Pokedex, because if dealing with a basic Team Rocket story event is so tedious and hair-pulling, I don't think she's trying to complete the Dex either.
Which is kind of stupid, because that's kind of the point of Pokemon. Like, say what you will,
and very bad for a retrospective.
Sorry, what was that?
And very bad for a retrospective.
Yep. Because I was going to say, because, like, say what you will, Pokemon has always been about catching, more so than battling. Battling is a major part of it, and it's what most people gravitate to. I'm not going to lie on that. But the joy of it has always been catching, finding that new Pokemon, seeing what it does good, what it doesn't do. Well, that type of thing. What abilities it can have. That's the fun of Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, this is arduous.
Now she's just so allergic to all of it. So sorry, I know you were trying to move forward.
We're at the beginning. We have already been at this for an hour and 30 minutes. We're only 15 in. Why do we keep stopping?
Because we keep seeing egregious opinions.
You're lost in this maze having
Also, she just passed the Lapras.
There was a Lapras?
If you talk to that guy, he will give you a free Lapras because he doesn't want it to fall in Team Rocket's hands. There's a free, I don't remember what level it is, but it'll be about at least level 30. You can swap the Staryu out with it.
Yeah,
Because that Staryu's not going to do shit for you. I'm sorry, Lily. And hell, it evolves through stone. So unless you buy a water stone, it's never going to evolve either. There's no point having the Staryu. It's too low level for you to make use of.
yeah,
maze having
Anyways,
your
let's try
resources
that
chipped
topic.
away on more and more fights, and there's a fight with Sketchy right before Giovanni. This dungeon and Pokemon Tower both have places to heal mid-dungeon. No other area in the game has that. I think that's the point you can say the dungeon is too big. And I'd be fine
Disagree. Disagree.
no. Dungeons can have checkpoints. That's a natural and healthy part of a dungeon.
Also, I just want to point out, the heal is locked away.
Ooh, nice.
Because,
Actually,
like-
I do want to bring up quickly Etrian Odyssey.
Yeah?
Etrian Odyssey has checkpoints like those where it's like, oh, you can top up. Apparently, that's bad because that means the dungeon's going on too long. It isn't taking 5 minutes to get through.
Yeah, and that's the thing. In Etrian Odyssey, you're exploring a fucking labyrinth. If any adventure lasts 5 seconds, it's probably ended up in a team wipe. And everyone died.
Mhm. It's like dungeons are supposed to take time or something.
And hell, it's a handheld game. Just save and come back to it. It's meant to be picked up and played for small periods at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Ah!
no other area in the game has that. I think that's the point you can say the dungeon is too big. And I'd be fine with how big it was if it wasn't so dull, if there was a clear forward progression, but this can be the shortest place in the game if you know which teleporter actually gets you to where you want to go. It's this.
And then you don't explore.
Yeah, but then you don't explore and you miss out on all the goodies. There's still items to pick up. It's not completely barren. There's
It would be
enemies to
wild
fight to
playing
get
Etrian Odyssey
EXP.
with a
Sorry.
it would be wild playing Etrian Odyssey with a pre-made map and just not even bothering to explore what the map gives me and just try and get straight up to the quickest end point of the given mission.
Fun fact, in both Pokemon and Etrian Odyssey, if you did that, you will die to the next boss. You'll be so underleveled in Pokemon and so underleveled in Etrian Odyssey, you will just not have the manpower unless you have some ridiculous strat.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, both games are hard for... And that's if you're playing on the intended difficulty for Etrian Odyssey, which is hard mode. Hard mode is the intended difficulty for Etrian. Anyways, that's a different topic.
This one. See, I actually quite liked Rock Tunnel. No one trainer battle is going to really challenge you outside of the boss fights, but instead you're draining PP, losing health, running out of healing items, and there's no restoration or mart until you reach the next town. Rock Tunnel actually has a Pokemon Center right outside because it is a gauntlet, something Gen 2 did as well with Union Cave. And as you get through, there's more and more trainers in your way, dwindling your resources. But because Rock Tunnel is mostly linear, you're always making forward progress, and while losing can restore your health and PP, it costs half your money to do it. This, incidentally, is why you can't buy PP restoring items. It's why PP exists at all. This game is very unforgiving to your PP. Lily, not.
She was just about to make a dick joke, though.
Yep.
I was just gonna go say, PP is still a problem in modern day. Is it as much? No, but you still can't buy PP items in most, places unless you're near the end game.
Yeah. Also, again, not every dungeon can just be a plain gauntlet of skill. Some of them are supposed to be exploration.
Yep, a lot of them are supposed to be puzzles, because that's more fun than just, oh hey, here's another rock tunnel. Have fun fighting through 50 Zubats, 30 Geodudes, 2 Golems, throw an Onyx in for good measure.
it off. This is actually a really good approach to gameplay. Most trainers don't have more than 1 or 2 Pokemon, but you're not just up against one trainer, you're up against all of this. But Silphco has more trainers than Rock Tunnel, it's got a layout designed to confuse you, and it's right in the middle of a city, so nothing is stopping you from taking the elevators to the lobby and going to the Pokemon Center and healing up. It's just the worst dungeon in the entire game. I fucking despise it. People complained about Rock Tunnel because you needed to use Flash or wander around blindly, and we'll get into HMs in a little bit because I actually like them, but it's actually very well designed, a very meaty challenge for where it is in the game, and very satisfying to get through, especially since it's a transitory period of the second act of the game. There's no cheating through it, you have to go through it in this one direction, which means this one direction is very interesting. Oh fuck, that was another H-bomb quote, wasn't it?
Sorry, I wanted to pause there just to point out that Butterfree had to four-shot this thing with confusion. It's a fucking Cubone and you're a fully evolved Butterfree. What do you mean you don't have a better move than Confusion? You're level 23, why do you not have a better move than Confusion? And you four-shot it. This is what we mean when we say Butterfree's not that good.
Yep.
Also on the thing, the reason why we hate Rock Tunnel is because Flash itself is kind of bad. It takes up a move slot, one that you can't get rid of, by the way. So you either have to bring in a dedicated HM slave, or just not have
Flash is an HM?
Yep. Flash is HM.
Ooh.
They've stopped it being a requirement somewhere in Gen 3, I think. Either Gen 3 or Gen 4. But point is, there's a reason why Flash got removed and other HMs still stuck around.
Yeah, because you only use it for like 1 to 2 caves. That's
Also,
bad.
Also in battle, Flash only reduces accuracy by like 1, I think.
Yeah, it does that consistently.
Direction, which means this one direction is very interesting. Oh fuck, that was another H-bomb quote, wasn't it?
One direction very
Silphco is
interesting
just
anyways.
obtuse
Sorry.
for the sake of obtuse, and can be effectively skipped over if you're crafty enough. So it's either unbearably grueling or terminally short and easy with no middle ground. And the gym afterward also features a teleporter pad puzzle that, again, you either try every pad and get lucky, or know exactly where to go. It's no surprise they didn't do this kind of gym puzzle a second time. Now this is the part where I'm supposed to talk about
I'll admit that while that is annoying, that's kind of the whole purpose of it, is that it's trying to strengthen your mind and have you make a mental map of the gym and what each teleporter goes to.
Lily complained about the friendly rival being so, like, patting you on the back and holding your hand, and is now complaining that the game's dungeon doesn't pat you on the back and hold your hand.
Yep. Because there's a lot of teleporters. They go to a lot of places. You have to keep a mental map of where they go. It is very taxing on the brain, and that's the point. It's a psychic gym.
It's not supposed to be your friend.
It's supposed to challenge you, and this is probably one of the few actual challenges in the game. Like that and the invisible walls of Koga's.
Yep.
Blaine's is just a fucking, what is right? Are you playing red version or blue version? You got it wrong, fight the trainer. And they get to try again, and you don't get to refight the trainer. So Blaine is either fight the trainers or just fight no one.
Yep.
And I'm not trying to knock it off. Like, having a quiz as a gym is interesting. It's just either very easy
You
or
also
kind
end
of
up
pointless.
Yeah, it can end up that you don't even fight the trainers, and you sometimes have to go out of your way to be wrong on the quiz just to fight the trainers.
I think they'll fight you if you still talk to them, but still. It's just a thing of like, yeah, no, it's just not that great designed.
Anyways, let's hope Lily is done talking about how allergic she is to gaming.
how powerful the psychic type is and how broken and overwhelming it is. Everyone talks about it and how obscenely powerful the psychic types are. Here's the thing though, that's only true in theory. Psychic's power comes from
Fucking no! I'll go into more explanation when she's done with her rant. I just want to go and say, fuck no, as a Gen 1 expert here. You're factually incorrect. It's not just in theory, it's also in practice. And I'll explain why in great detail later.
large variety of stab moves and its two weaknesses either not being coded properly or possessing no moves of decent power. Sure. But one thing we're going to run into later is that the Pokemon community operates as if stab super effective moves are the only things that exist. You remember how I mentioned I had a bone to pick with Poketubers? Well, here it is. This is why Butterfree is often derided as a low tier Pokemon, because she doesn't learn stab moves. But the thing is, other strategies exist. Butterfree might not have stab moves, but she has an array of status moves. Sleep is godlike in this game, and she's one of the earliest sleepers. And you don't need stab to do some pretty meaty damage either way. Neutral attacks are still a thing. Status moves are still a thing. Alakazam might have high special, but his physical defense...
I just want to point out that special stat compared to Butterfree's.
That and is just an extreme version of Butterfree's existing stats.
Yep. Actually, I think it has roughly the same HP, attack, and defense.
Exactly.
It also vastly outspeeds us. Like, sorry. I'm going to explain more once the whole point's done, because this is part of our point.
Is in the toilet, and a decent physical move, even if it isn't super effective, is going to body the fucker. These Pokemon are overpowered if you're someone who thinks having no weaknesses means you can't be killed, but that's never been the case. We all beat Sabrina as kids after all, and chances are you beat the kid who had Mewtwo. In fact, despite how supposedly powerful psychic types are, Sabrina has never been memed on as heavily as Whitney or Cynthia have been in the past. And shit, Cynthia's Garchomp has a 4x weakness and is still considered brutally difficult even though she has a Pokemon with no weaknesses. The truth of the matter is that Alakazam just doesn't have the moves available to him to really take out his real weaknesses, physical attackers. To be as broken as people claim Alakazam is, he would need a much wider variety of moves, and he's just never really had that. But Gen 1 Psychic types just weren't that broken to begin with. Just use Slash. Like, ever. Technically the next day...
Okay. So,
there's so much to tell about this.
Her own video, it fucking disproved her, by the way. Because she's like, oh yeah, just use physical moves. Using Fly. Alakazam with a Reflect Up. Been healing off of it while being poisoned.
Yep.
Also, using poison and not fucking toxic, which I know you can get by this point in the game.
Yeah, and sorry, I just want to make a quick aside on the Garchomp. It's not that Garchomp is so powerful because it has 4 times weakness, but not much else or whatever. I don't care. Garchomp is powerful because she built a really high level team of, I don't know, a pseudo legendary, a mythical, Togekiss, which is a nice special tank. I forget whatever else because I don't know if I ever actually beat the champion, but point is, she has a fearsome team on lineup, and the key of it is Garchomp, who beyond typing is a statistical beast.
It's a Dragon Ground type, which, while yes, is weak to Ice type. 1, Ice types don't have that many good attacking moves. 2, Garchomp is fast as fuck, and can hit like a goddamn truck, and has decent bulk to go with that. That's the reason why Garchomp is terrifying.
Casual reminder that the big scary dragon has 300. So yeah, 333 is what it ends up with its stat total if you max it out. I forget what its actual base speed is, but it ends up being 333 if maximum invested.
I'm looking it up now because I like to have.
While you do that, quick aside: Alakazam was scary in Generation 1, not only because of the type inversion error, but also because with its crazy stats, it had crazy power, and because special is special, it also had crazy special defense, and since basically half of the typing roster is special and the other half is physical, you didn't have super strong control over whether or not you were going to absolutely body him, in theory, or be absolutely walled off by him.
Remember, she showed, what was it, 135 for the stats, in both special and special attack and defense. Yeah, imagine hitting that with fucking Flamethrower. That's gonna do pitiful damage. Especially since, because it's a psychic type, could have access to one of the mirrors. You know, like Reflect or Light Screen, which would half that damage even more. And as we've seen with her, she's doing Fly on Pidgeot. That is a strong Pokemon.
I wish I could see what Alakazam's level is.
Alakazam is
weren't much weaknesses. The truth of the matter considers how beats someone who, if it is damage like this, your mentioned I operate decent epic absolutely still a thing. Status moves are still cool if you beat Sabrina as kids after.
No, that was Mr. Mime. I'll have to look it up.
Oh well. But yeah, so it seems to be maybe equally leveled.
43.
But then again, 43.
That's 43. With Psybeam,
Ooh.
Psywave, Recover, and Reflect.
Yeah, and the issue is Pidgeot isn't insane in stats. Generally pretty balanced, but that means nothing actually went into excelling per se. So it's not as dichotomous as, say, more modern competitive things. Well, yeah, he'd be knocked over by the latest physical sweeper, but Pidgeot isn't strong enough to be a really recognizable sweeper.
Yeah, I just looked it up. AD attack.
Exactly. And even at 55 defense, that's not like, that's still above half that with
Yep.
Reflect.
So it's like, yeah, no. There's a reason why psychic types were fucking feared. Stab, nothing resists it. Nothing was immune to it. So it was all just pure damage. From
The
attack.
crazy investment stats.
Yep, the crazy investment stats, because psychics are known for one thing and one thing only. The flexibility it has with reflect, recover. All shit Mewtwo has, by the
Hypnosis.
way.
Yeah.
Like,
What
yeah,
is-
you're
oh,
right.
Yeah.
You're right that physical type moves can demolish it, but it has ways to get around it. And even then,
And
that's
it
also
only
assuming your
assumes you have
Pokemon
physical
survives.
moves in your kit. Anyways, the other thing I wanted to say is, like, just as a general rule of thumb, it's almost as if opinions, like general opinions, come from general experience, not because people are just sitting there being stupid. It's usually better to follow the crowd. The crowd knows what they're doing. They are doing it actively.
There are times where the general crowd isn't accurate, like we saw with like Steve in Minecraft and Smash Brothers. But it's like there are
No, Steve
reasons
is overpowered
why.
in Smash.
What?
No, Steve is overpowered in Smash. That's not.
I know, but near the start of it, people didn't think so.
Oh.
Like, that opinion was one that changed over time. That was just something that I wanted to show off as, like, yeah, even then, like, the general opinion can be wrong, but it's usually based on something. You have how many characters in Smash Ultimate? It is very easy to overlook someone.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with someone
And
with
then you
as
start
wacky
seeing a
gameplay as Steve.
Yeah. Anyways, back on topic.
Yep.
Point is, trying to be countercultural can usually blow up in your face because they aren't saying things just because. They are saying it out of experience, and trying to counter that experience doesn't work.
Also, can I just go and mention, Lily's talking about how psychic types aren't all that great, while her Butterfree only has psychic type attacks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, Lily, but you're your own hypocrite.
Consistency, thy name is not Lily.
You beat the kid who had Mewtwo. In fact, despite how supposedly powerful psychic types are, Sabrina has never been memed on as heavily as Whitney or Cynthia have been in the past. And shit, Cynthia's Garchomp has a 4x weakness and is still considered brutally difficult, doesn't have the moves available to him to really take out his real weaknesses, physical attackers. To be as broken as people claim Alakazam is, he would need a much wider variety of moves, and he's just never really had that. But Gen 1 psychic types just weren't that broken to begin with. Just use Slash. Like, ever. Technically,
Slash would not do that great if it has the fucking reflect up.
Yeah. I will give you a warning. Mom just got home, so it might get noisy around here.
Okay.
the next area is Seafoam Islands, but let's be honest, when was the last time you actually went through Seafoam Islands? Yeah,
To say Articuno.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't play the game that far.
I thought so. I certainly didn't. I surfed south from Palatown, you fucking scrub. Out of all the gyms, I think...
You're a fucking scrub. Also, by the way, the part you're supposed to do is go from Koga's gym to Seafoam Isle in order to encounter Articuno and find the first of the 3 legendary birds, and essentially to learn of their existence, and then you're supposed to go fight Blaine on Cinnabar Island. Also, once you have stuff, you also have access to the power plant, where you can find Zapdos.
True. So I do need to cut this short on emergency. Dad's coming soon, and I need to go help him. So.
Okay, we'll end it here then.
All right. See you next week, I guess.
Whenever we have time.
All right.
1 week later.
Physical attackers. To be as broken as
Okay,
people claim
and now we are
Alakazam
back.
is, he would need a much wider variety
All the
of
right
moves,
team.
and he's just never really had that. But Gen 1 Psychic types just weren't that broken to begin with. Just use Slash. Like, ever. Technically, the next area is Seafoam Islands, but let's be honest, when was the last time you actually went through Seafoam Islands? Yeah, I thought so. I certainly didn't. I surfed south.
When I wanted fucking Articuno or other Dugong, Seal, Pokemon Dex completion.
I kind of want to ask how you get the other 2 birds, but I guess it doesn't really matter.
So once you get Surf, you can find the hidden power plant. That's where Zapdos is. And Moltres is in a area in Victory Road.
Sweet.
From Palatown, you fucking scrub. Out of all the gyms, I think Blaine is my favorite. Fire-type Pokemon are rare in damn near every Pokemon game, so a Fire-type gym is always a welcome challenge. But his trivia questions were something I always thought was very cute. It's better than maneuvering around gym trainers like someone who's just dropped a really eggy fart and is trying not to be noticed about it. Oh, right, but first you have to go through the Pokemon Mansion. You know, I forget about this dungeon every single time I play this game, and then I just spam repels and try not to battle anyone. I feel
Okay. I paused it because I probably should have done a bit sooner, but, yeah, no, I actually kind of hate Blaine's gym.
Is it that bad?
It's not bad. So what it is just, you walk up to the terminal, you'll give it a question. Get it wrong, you fight the trainer. Get it right, you continue without fighting the trainer. And that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty boring.
So it's like,
Anyways,
back then, it was interesting because we didn't really have puzzles back then.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also due to, like, you know, hardware limitations.
It's Fantina, but without any of the flair.
Yeah. I mean, they redid it in Pokemon Let's Go, where it's like a full-on quiz show. But it's still the same premise. Get it right or be get punished. And the questions are quite easy. And also inconsequential. Again, get it wrong, you fight the trainer and get asked again.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Anyways, I just want to add quickly, once again, being allergic to gameplay. I understand doing the repels thing, but I was constantly trying to avoid Pokemon and trainers. Very noobish baby thing to do. You shouldn't be doing that as you get better at Pokemon. You should be able to just plow through things and not worry about the time it takes.
Hell, I typically don't use repels, honestly, and that's partially because I try to complete the Pokedex, at least as much as I can. So I try to encounter every Pokemon at least once so I can catch it.
Exactly.
I played this game, and then I just spam repels and try not to battle anyone. I feel Pokemon Mansion should be the coolest dungeon, but it's in a city and so suffers from similar issues that Silphco does. The access to a Pokemon Center nearby renders the things that make the dungeons interesting completely moot. 7th badge.
Disagree. You can argue this for any dungeon.
You are the one who chose to go to the Pokemon Center per battle.
Yep, you're the one that chose that. Not to mention, like, even the Flash Cave, like, guess what? You have a Pokemon Center right outside of that. You get pummeled too much about, trainers? Okay, you can also retreat there. Use an escape rope. Use dig. Use teleport. This is
And that's a good thing.
Thing that you could use at any point. And yes, that is a good thing. Like, just because you don't like it does not mean shit. I don't even say it's like, oh yeah, this is a wrong opinion, therefore. I'm just saying that it's an inconsistent opinion.
Pretty much.
Swing back to Viridian, give Giovanni a midlife crisis, then head out for the Pokemon. Actually, hang on. I actually really like Giovanni. He's a much more real villain than any other evil team.
I just realized you didn't talk about Mew!
Oh, wait, wait, what? Not Mewtwo?
Remember, have you played Gen 1?
Not all the way through, I'm sorry.
Pokemon Mansion, that is where you find the journal about Mew. Where Mew gave birth, quote-unquote, that created Mewtwo. That's the origination of it! And this implies that fucking Pokemon Mansion has ties to Team Rocket!
And the generation of Mewtwo.
Yep.
Which is how they connected Blaine to it in Pokemon Adventures.
Because, like, here's the thing.
So, yeah,
like,
interesting lore.
Okay, I'm gonna say this until after her spiel about Giovanni, because she may get into it. But just keep this on the back burner. She did not mention Mewtwo. She hasn't really mentioned what Team Rocket has been doing this entire time. So if she doesn't mention it here, I'm gonna go through the story of Team Rocket. Because there is a story.
I'm gonna try to be patient, but oh my goodness, I'm not exactly excited to hear how she's saying Giovanni's a real villain, not like these other guys who are too fantastical.
Just give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she'll surprise us. She surprised us before.
Yep.
Hang on. I actually really like Giovanni. He's a much more real villain than any other evil team. He just wants to exploit Pokemon for financial gain. He could just as easily be the Mafia or Amazon. But what I really like is that after the third time you beat him, he just goes, I had my entire empire toppled by a small child. What the fuck is wrong with me? What am I doing with my life? I am a failure of the highest order. And he just quits and goes into hiding and hangs out in a cave for the rest of his life. You humiliated this guy so badly, he had a midlife crisis. And in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, you could beat him again and make him even more depressed. He's actually kind of pathetic. I love torturing the elderly. Anyway, after...
Okay, fuck you!
Yeah.
No...
But that is crazy. That is absolutely insane.
That is such a fucking straw man way to show Giovanni. Because, yeah, he is going, like, I keep getting beaten by these kids, showing that his empire is not as strong as he once thought it was. Not to mention, you also ignore the entire fucking point of it. Because this whole thing has been one giant operation for Team Rocket. We first discovered them in, fuck, I forgot the first cave area. The one where you get the
Moon Cave? Is it Mount Moon? I might be misremembering.
Mount Moon, yes, it was Mount Moon. So, first you get Mount Moon, where you first learn about Team Rocket and their criminal tendencies, trying to find real Pokemon, aka the fossils. And then you go and find out that, yeah, they will just straight up steal people's Pokemon and trying to actively recruit people at Nugget Bridge. Then you go to their actual headquarters and beat them up. And Giovanni's weak there because he's not necessarily giving it his A game yet. Because he is the strongest of the 8 gym leaders. This was him at
He left his gym leader team at home.
Yeah. So then you go in there, go in, took down his entire base. He goes and proceeds with his operations because he can always recover. Just because you took down the main base does not necessarily mean you beat them. Hit them in the entirety. Look at like Gen 4 as well with Cyrus and the fact that you go and beat them but fail to get the red chain, so operations just continued as normal. Then you go to next you go and fight them at Pokemon Tower when you have the Self Scope to go and just see how far the cruelty would go. The fact that literal death of the Pokemon means nothing to Team Rocket, and how they were bothering Mr. Fuji to join them. Would you have to go and help?
Isn't he the one who just oversees the Pokemon Tower?
He does that. The reason why he was there was he was trying to put Melrak's spirit to rest. That's why he was in the tower.
Yeah, so he's just a chill guy.
Yep. And then he has, Giovanni does that big attack on Saffron City, the entire fucking city, where he himself went in. This is such an important operation that the leader himself went in to go and secure the Master Ball. Why? Because they wanted Mewtwo. The whole goal of Giovanni was having Mewtwo, and losing the Self Scope, losing the Master Ball, which was the only real hope of getting Mewtwo, and then being beaten, not just by you, because remember, Blue also has that badge. And lost back to back? Like, yeah, no. If I was a Mafia boss, which that is what he fucking is, he's a Mafia member. He is the godfather of Pokemon. Not in that regard, you know what I mean. He's the fucking godfather of the Mafia.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, I just realized something. It's like, Blue beating him was probably just business as normal because Blue was kind of not bothering with anything and probably just doing the gym challenge as normal. Red was constantly encountering him outside of this, repeatedly losing to Red, and then he loses in the gym challenge.
Yep.
Because like if Red did not interact with Team Rocket, he probably would have been just fine because he kind of has to lose as a gym leader.
Don't forget, this gym has been closed for a while due to Giovanni going missing. He only came back because we kicked his ass.
Oh.
It's like, yeah, no. Remember, this gym here, this is in the second town in the game. And trying to go in it fails because the gym leader's not there. Who knows where the gym leader is? If you even look on your your profile, and you see, like, the Pokemon, or the trainers, well, the gym leader.
Yeah. His is like a question mark or something, isn't it?
His is silhouetted, because you're not supposed to know who he is. No one knows who the 8th gym leader is. And with Giovanni's disappearance, it also leads to there needing to be a new 8th member. Well, 8th gym leader. And that gets expanded on in Gen 2, which we'll talk about that if it ever gets brought up.
Hooray.
But yeah, no, just, how do you miss the simplicities of it? My excuse was I was a young, stupid kid and I already had an understanding of the story, so I just never paid attention to it.
Yeah, and my excuse was I never bothered to play this game all the way through.
Yep, so you wouldn't even know. You probably didn't even get to Saffron.
Probably not, no.
Quite invigorating.
Okay.
Or depressed. He's actually kind of pathetic. I love torturing the elderly. Anyway, after that, and a quite invigorating run through Victory Road, my points about Rock Tunnel still stand here. I make it to the Elite Four. Lorelei was probably the most difficult of the bunch, simply because ice types are the major blind spot in my knowledge. I know they're weak to fire, but I don't know anything else about how they work. Butterfree swept both Bruno and Agatha.
Isn't it like
Sorry, no,
ground?
like...
No.
Huh?
Not
What?
Fuck, what else is weak?
Okay. Ice is weak to fire, fighting, rock, and steel at least. I might be forgetting a 5th one, but it might just be 4.
Steel does not exist in Gen 1, so that part.
Well, yeah, okay. So it's still weak to fire, fighting, and rock.
Rock, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, not ground. It beats ground.
I'm gonna be honest, when it comes to rock and ground, my knowledge of those two mix up quite a bit in terms of Gen 1 specifically, because most rock type are also ground type.
Fool. It is a very big difference, actually, if you study the types enough.
It is! Again, I'm just saying, in Gen 1, you're mostly facing Onyx and Geodudes. The only other ground types being Diglett, and really nobody uses them. And all the other rock types are foster
Nidoking, Nidoqueen, Rhyhorn, Rhydon.
Rhyhorn is also a rock type.
Oh, I know, I'm just thinking about the other notable ground types.
Okay, fair. I was being disingenuous with
Oh, Sandshrew and Sandslash.
those are
Poor Sandshrew. He doesn't deserve this erasure.
Yeah, no. Okay. Note to self, my knowledge is shit. I probably should do my Gen 1 playthrough. Goddamn. This is what happens when I don't play Pokemon. I forget everything.
Yeah, I have the curse of I was autism focused since I was 8. So I kind of know everything.
Okay. What was the thing we were talking about again? Hold on.
4. Lorelei was probably the most
him not
difficult
knowing.
of the bunch,
Sorry,
simply because ice types are the...
I'm sorry, I'm going to do it again. Her not knowing that there's more weaknesses than fire for ice type, which is ridiculous. It's like right there.
Blind spot in my knowledge. I know they're weak to fire, but I don't know anything else about how they work. Butterfree swept both Bruno and Agatha. I'll be honest, I didn't think she could do it. 2 of them are rock type, and I thought it would at least be a struggle, but it was a massacre. I love.
I mean, you used the one good. Wait, hold on.
To be honest, I didn't think she could do it. 2 of them are rock type. How they work. Butterfree swept both Bruno and Agatha. I'll be honest, I didn't.
Psychic. Because I realized she could have gotten the psychic TM earlier when she was facing Koga, because you could get the psychic TM as soon as you could get to Saffron City.
Yep.
So I was confused. I was like, wait, did she never get it? No, she did get it. Okay.
I think she
I
could
will
do
say
it.
it's actually a bit impressive that she managed to get off Solar Beam, because that's a 2-turn move. So managing to survive a rock type that long.
Stupid, like Harden.
True.
Like it's not that. Don't forget, this is not competitive. You are likely to get 2-turn moves off.
Yeah.
type, and I thought it would at least be a struggle, but it was a massacre. I love this little bug. And then Lance was swept by Starmie. Yeah, the Elite Four wasn't really much to write home about, honestly. It's one of those challenges that was really cool as a kid for the spectacle, but as a gameplay challenge, it hasn't held up. But that's fine. It's an old game, and frankly, I think the first
I should let him finish the sentence, actually.
4 gens are at a good place difficulty-wise. They're just hard enough to keep your brain engaged, and as a kid, some of these challenges can seem insurmountable, but they really push you to figure out simple problems in your head, which is something kids need to be constantly exercising. It's good for them. Moving on to Sketchy.
Okay, so, one thing I just wanted to say is, yeah, the Elite Four is not that particularly hard in this game. However, saying it's easy is a different matter, considering you're still going
I wouldn't
through
say
5
it's easy.
trainers. Also, you're under-leveled, which makes me wondering how many potions you're throwing on your team.
Sorry, my thought was, like, I do kind of relate to that in, say, like, the Gen 4's admins, the Team Rocket, not Plasma, Galactic admins, where they're usually evolved Pokemon, so you have to think a little outside the box because they have better stats than you and are usually on a higher level anyways. It's not too hard once you get good at the game, but as a kid, it can feel really hard all of a sudden, and it kind of is a good spice to the game. So I don't think the Elite Four is easy, but I do think they are a good spike that doesn't go overboard.
Yeah, not to mention, Dragonites were easy. Yeah, that's because it has, like... Actually, no, those Dragon ARs, they aren't flying type, right? Only Dragonite?
Actually, yeah, they might not be flying type yet. Let me check.
In that case, because I was gonna say, like, yeah, no duh, the Blizzard did that much damage. It is 4 times weak.
Oh yeah, no, it's just Dragon type, so Ice type is only 2 times strong.
Damn, that flying type actually fucked over Dragonite!
Yeah, he's good in other ways, but he does have notable weaknesses to constantly think about.
Goddamn. Anyways, and the fated battle against Blue.
It was a mostly okay fight. Again, the spectacle is what made it matter, but his Alakazam did get off a cheeky little reflect before I knocked him out, buffing his team against physical attacks, which was uncalled for. In fact,
oh, it's almost like second
Why was
types are
uncalled
good!
for?
You
I'm sorry, uncalled for?
She's just
say you're bad at the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, she's just pissy that Alakazam did a fucking parting shot and made the team, their team harder to kill.
Womp womp.
Womp womp, skill issue.
he did knock out more of my Pokemon than I was prepared for. His Executor in particular was a stubborn little bitch. I really wanted to
That's the, off topic, but that haunts my fucking dreams.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen? I think it was like Japanese Golbat. It's
Oh,
quite
God.
ridiculous.
I'm gonna look at that later.
really wanted to take out his last Pokemon with Butterfree, but alas, it was not meant to be. But Starmie pulled through for me, and it was all good. We're all good. And that's Gen 1. All in all, I think it still holds up. Any ranking of the generations, and I am going to rank them at the end, really ought to have Gen 1 play smack dab in the middle. All the usual obligatory praises about being the trendsetter are one thing, but the real thing that keeps me coming back to it is freedom. Generation 1 is in this weird position with Gen 2 because they're both very free-form games. Starting from Gen 3, but really picking up speed in Gen 4, Pokemon became more linear, more JRPG. Game Freak started to get very pushy. They wanted to start telling you how to play instead of letting you play on your own. The games were more railroaded, more insistent on directing you. Mechanics would be removed for seemingly no reason. Some people claim this started in Gen 6, but it really picked up steam in the DS games. Generation 1 doesn't have this problem. Because the cartridge wouldn't hold enough data, there's no story getting in your way, no pushy attitudes from the devs getting in your way, and just no annoyances. The annoyances in this game mostly just come from roadblocks. I'd forgotten just how padded the mid-game truly is, something I never hear anyone talk about because everyone just focuses on the features, which is what I find is the problem. This is why I wanted to do it this way. I want to focus on the gameplay and not the toys. But even with that hurdle to get over, I still prefer the adventure and the openness. To me, the ideal Pokemon adventure is Ash's Adventure, where you're going on your own personal journey. Maybe you run into a new conflict at a given city, but at the end of the day, it's still your journey to make of it what you will, and that will continue to have value so long as Game Freak continues to try to make Pokemon into Final Fantasy.
Oh my god, she skipped you two!
Anyways, about the whole railroading thing, no, like what? No, it started in Gen 7. as far as I can remember, basically anything before Gen 7 had plenty of times. I guess Gen 6 had some railroading as well, but for the
Gen
most part,
6,
you
I'd
could have
argue.
plenty of time, like decent hours of the gameplay where no one's really forcing you to progress or accompanying you to try to be story or whatever. There's plenty of times where you're just let loose to do whatever, much like Generation 1, just to a lesser degree, because they do try to make a more meaningful story. Whereas Generation 1 was trying to do a more storytelling sorry, environmental storytelling is what I meant to say. But to complain that Gen 4 is railroading, when? How?
Like, to me, we need a more. Oh, so I'm probably gonna swap. It's fine. It's fine. I'll just leave that. That's gonna have to be the black screen because this is gonna be her team for the next one.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. Anyways, but yeah, no. My opinion on that one is like, what does she specifically mean by railroading? Because technically, every Pokemon game has railroading in it. Like,
I mean, yeah, that's actually one of the complaints she had, if I remember correctly, was that she had to progress things in a certain order.
Yep. You have to go Rocket's Hideout to Pokemon Tower to grab a thing, so you could go to Koga City, because I keep forgetting the name of Koga City.
Enough.
And then,
Anyways.
but that's kind of the thing, though. It's like, that happens at all. Hell, if you're talking about, like, that type of restriction, that's like, you have to progress through the story, then you blame Gen 3 for that. Because Gen 3 doesn't let you... Actually, I can't even say that's true, because in Gen 3, you can skip a gym.
Oh, wow.
Because, yeah, no, I forget which gym it was, but it's the one gym that doesn't give you an HM in it. And because of that, and because you needed all the other, HMs to either get the other badges or to get to the Elite Four, there was only a check to make sure you have that one badge. Like, that is how well designed Gen 3 is, and I can't wait for us to get to it. But, like, what do you mean by railroading? Do you mean, like, the amount of cutscenes? Make it feel a lot more railroady? Like, to that one, I just don't agree. Also, there is a story in Gen 1. You just completely missed it. Considering, the only difference, because we already mostly talked about the story already, but the only difference we have is Blue's arc on being less of an asshole. Because after you beat him in the Elite Four, he asks why his Pokemon aren't good enough, and Oak busts in saying, Blue, you're an idiot. Okay, I'm gonna be terrible here. Professor Oak came in saying it's because you didn't have a bond with your Pokemon. You saw them as tools to get stronger, and that's it. Meanwhile, Red here actually forged a bond with his Pokemon, and therefore were able to pull out their full power. And that's what made him win.
Yep.
And yeah, that was supposed to be the change from Blue, because, fun fact, Blue's a returning character, I'm just gonna spoil that now, to be more of a good guy and less of a jackass. Because he learned a lesson he needed to have learned before the whole journey.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the railroadness of this, not the story per se. There isn't going to be a game where you do not have a true choke point. Like, to imagine open worlds is like you can branch off in trees of decisions. Eventually, it's going to all collapse back into a singular or small set of decisions for a set of story, then branch back out again. Even something as open as Minecraft is prone to this, because in order to get something like the Elytra, you have to progress through the get to the end progression. If you want to get to the Nether, you need to do the progression to get to the Nether, so on. You are going to be railroaded even in Minecraft. It's just you can decide when to say playtime's over and to get back to the progression side of things. Which Pokemon, you can do the same thing to some extent. Yes, you can't progress into like new areas. You have to do the bit of story that comes with it, but you can explore pretty much freely for a lot of the games. It only really picked up in Generation 7, where they put the flags of story progression so close together that you have to walk a very straight line for most of the early games, some of the mid-game, and probably late into the late game, I don't remember exactly. But that early game is just, it scars me to this day. But anyways, Gen 6 had some of this, but it was also trying to be more cutesy in that it had a storytelling thing going on. You're traveling through the forest together as friends. You're doing things as friends. Your friends are trying to be friends with you.
Sorry to interrupt, but I do feel like we're just expanding this point a bit further than needs be.
Oh, yes. Sorry. You get the point. Nothing can truly be open world to the point that you can do whatever and define your own adventure. At some point, you do have to come back and do the story.
Genuinely look at Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, even Breath of the Wild.
You're railroaded in the first part of Breath of the Wild, then you are free all the way until literally the very end.
Yes, but you do have to participate in story to unlock certain things.
Yep. But yeah, so that's my point. I would accept the criticism of that more if she ever defined what she meant by railroading, because I feel like in this case it's a bit ambiguous.
It sounds like she's just allergic to story.
Probably. But that's going to be all for this video. I'm probably still going to continue the recording with Strawb just for this segment. We are done. This is Wiisonic the Hedgehog Gamer with my friend.
Hi.
And yes, my friend. Hi. Oh, bye.
I don't know. I'm not used to outros yet.
My friend Strawb. Everyone, give a round of applause. And goodbye.
Goodbye.